Welcome, everyone, to Constructed Chaos, where we run our D&D live streams every single Wednesday and Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time, and where today it is Danny Leo's birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We got voice in my head today. We got Danny Leo in the chat. We got both Matt and his wife in the chat. It's a great evening. So glad to have so many of you here along for the ride. So excited to get into tonight's session and so excited to share some of the surprises that I have been working on behind the scenes for a very, very long time now. But before we get to any of that, I want to shout out our good friends over at Tabletop Beard who have sent us the Winter Solstice beard oil tonight. It is part of their all-natural line if you're looking to get some beard oils that are only made from the most succulent good berries. This one smells like winter mint and pine and is themed to the winter season, which I imagine a lot of you are now experiencing in earnest. I know we've had a little bit of on-off, hot-cold going on. But if you want to try some for yourself, they have tons of great beard products, not just oils, over on their website, tabletopbeard.com. The link is in the description below, and you can use code CHAOS20 for 20% off of your entire order at checkout. That does help out our channel as well if you use that code. So go ahead and give some love to our friends over at Tabletop Beard. They certainly do deserve it. Also give some love to our friends who left a comment last session. This one, this highlighted comment comes in from Dwayne Bradway, who was in the chat just a little while ago. He said, "I love that you said without saying that the Furbolg's cart had mudding tires." Yeah, Dwayne, it's not hard to imagine that you would need mudding tires in such dense, muddy terrain. It is exactly optimal to have mudding tires on your cart. So I wish Bramble would have outfitted you guys appropriately, but that's just kind of the way it goes, isn't it? Anyway, Dwayne, enjoy those chaos points. Enjoy the session tonight. I hope all of you enjoy. And while we are getting acclimated, getting cozy here in the chat, go ahead and open up a web browser. And first, go check out our friends over at Darkport. They run their streams every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. But while you have that browser open, you may also want to go to chatplaysdnd.com. Now, I will preface this by saying it's not up and running yet. It's not connected to our backend yet. There are tons of little bugs and fixes that I need to get under control over the next week. But you can kind of see what I've been working on if you're interested. Again, chatplaysdnd.com. There's no authentication set up right now, so you can totally access like the admin backend part of it. Delete all my characters, add new ones, go crazy if you really want to. Please don't delete everything immediately, but it is there for you to check out if you're interested in what I've been working on. That all said, I think I have nothing else to say, so it is finally time to
roll that beautiful bean footage.
Got it. Oh, she's off camera and she's still got it.
An indeterminate wash of cool light sifts its way through the haze-dense sky, past the branches of broken trees, and onto your heavy shoulders. You carry the weight ahead through the calf-deep bog until finally you slip into a narrow cavern, finding yourself simultaneously dripping damp and wrung out. You nearly collapse upon the cold stone floor, yet rest does not come easy. After nearly being poached by the traitorous hunters you trusted, your mind still reels with dizzy half-thoughts and what-ifs. And with no Ta'alva to lull you into a drug-induced slumber, you simply wait for your journey to Darkwell to continue.
Welcome back, everyone. And thank you for not deleting all the characters immediately. I'm looking at it on my end, and everything still seems to be there, but it seems like you guys are really interested in that. I'm very happy. Hopefully it kind of helps speed along these sessions. For those of you who aren't familiar with Chat Plays D&D, maybe this is your first time watching us, go ahead and type !guidance in the chat if you're watching us live. And once you're acclimated, if you're watching us live, you can type !roleplay to join a pool of players that gets selected to pilot the characters through the campaign. They get swapped out every so often, every 10 actions or so. So everyone gets a chance, typically, and it's a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's find out who's piloting Ayla, our elven paladin, tonight. We ended last session with everyone but Ayla having a level of exhaustion, and it looks like Zazima is going to be piloting Ayla tonight. Welcome back in, Zazima. Good to have you. Now let's have a look at who's going to be piloting Nyx, one of the two characters that does have exhaustion on their character sheet. Danny Leo, happy birthday. Here's some exhaustion. That's just kind of how it works. He said, thank you very much. You're very welcome. The Lindra is
Zez
our
in the pilot
druid.
seat as a poly.
Zez in the pilot seat as the pally. The Lindra is our resident druid, who's going to be very important with this adventure and is going to be piloted by Russell Mooney tonight to start things off. Keep in mind that your characters are exhausted. However, you have completed a long rest, so all your features are refreshed. If you're not familiar, you can check out our character sheets on D&D Beyond, at least until I get Chat Plays D&D up and running. You can see all of their layout, everything that they have to offer, including some spells, because I realized while I was working on the website that the Lindra did not have spells selected. So very sorry about that. Mostly she was wild-shaped, so I don't think it mattered all that much, but now the Lindra's got a bunch of spells for you guys to choose from. Enjoy! As we jump in, and all of you have rolled a natural 20, we rejoin our adventurers within a sandstone
I
cavern.
have 2 phones open. One for stream and one for D&D Beyond.
Ooh, perfect. Well played, Zazima. As we rejoin our characters within the sandstone cave at the edge of the mountain range to the north of Darkwell, Nyx had once escaped Darkwell. That was her home once upon a time, and so she remembered that this cave existed, might offer you some shelter from the wildlife that you fought against, from the poachers that you had to fight against. You thought they were there to rescue you, but ultimately it seemed as though you were going to be poached as well. You have proof in hand. As all of you wake, only some of you rested. Only one of you rested. What would everyone like to do? Ayla, you feel like $1 million, but Nyx and Thalindra, you're actually, you're feeling physically replenished, but just like mentally drained. You know, that bog that you get when you only get like 4 hours of sleep, you know? I guess in an elf's case, it would be 2 hours because they usually only need 4. Thou reek of a weeping tiefling. Nice heckle. If anybody else wants to generate their own heckle, chat does allow that. So what are we thinking? Zazima as Ayla, Danny as Nyx, and Russell as Thalindra. Each of you are kind of waking up in the sandstone cavern. You know you have a bit of a journey ahead, and the turnips that you've carried with you so far that have helped you stay nourished are beginning to run on the shy side. You've only got a few of them
rolls
left.
over asking for 5 more minutes.
Maybe stretching out a hand as you bat at the air. The inside of your hand, your palm sort of turns into a bear paw temporarily as you hoping to go back into your hibernation. What are the other two of you doing here?
I would like to make sure everything is ready to go.
Okay. Zazima as Ayla, why don't you go ahead and roll me a survival check? I want you to kind of look over all the supplies that you guys have, what little of it remains, and sort of ascertain the way ahead, what sort of terrain you think you might be facing. So, exclamation point R, survival. I did change one other thing since last session. You guys will see it here soon, I think. Yeah, I decided not to include the name, apparently, of anything. No, my intent was to have the character name show up on the die, so that I could tell at a glance instead of looking at you guys. But it looks like that's not working. I will fix that another time. But with your 7, Zima, as Ayla, kind of glance over all the supplies, you see you've got a few turnips left from Bramble. 2 of them are the ones that had faces in them that he mentioned would make excellent talking companions. You just haven't had the heart to eat them yet. But as your travels go on, you think maybe it's time to resort to Wilson cannibalism. You look over the rope that you have, Bramble's lucky rope. There are a few more provisions that you carry specifically, and then you ascertain the way ahead. I mean, it's bog thick. There's a haze that really only settles about 20 feet away from you, so you're not able to see very far into this dense, dark wood. But based on the direction you traveled in, you think you know where you need to go to get back to Darkwell. At least Nyx has been here before.
Though fine in the physical presence, her mind is recalling something that once saved her in her youth, but for the life of her, it keeps eluding her like an endless fog or the lessons forgot.
Absolutely. Nyx thinks back to her escape coming from Darkwell, trying to recall the exact events that led to her fleeing. She remembers stealing something that somebody else wanted. She remembers perhaps being chased out of Darkwell. But I'm going to have you roll a history check to see how much more she might remember. So, Danny, go ahead and type exclamation point R history. Tides of Mo in the chat. Who's that?
There will be no way of knowing. I have a strategy tonight.
What's that?
I'm going to dump all of my points into chaos right at the end of this. So then it could go off on Wednesday.
Ooh, nice. Okay, Danny, with a 19, Nyx furrows her brow, maybe spending a little bit more time getting up from what little sleep she did get, trying to remember the dream she was having. And as she recalls the moments right before she woke up in a startled gasp, she remembers being underground. She remembers sneaking through a vast array of different tunnels and being drawn towards one particular corridor with a glowing red ambience. As you rounded the corner, sticking out of the ground was a long, slender, it almost just looked like a stick stuck directly into the ground, and yet it felt alive somehow. At the top of this branch was a small, pulsing, red piece of wood. It was bulbous in nature, and you remembered something about the people who taught you how to live in Darkwell holding great value on this. They didn't hold value on a lot. They didn't hold value on the lives of people. They didn't hold value on the sanctity of nature. They didn't hold value on coin to a large extent, though they did use it in their day-to-day operations. No. They cared most about the eyes of people being seen, and they cared, or rather unseen, and they cared about this. Being trained as you were to take when you saw something valuable, you swiped it. It wasn't hard. It snapped right off the top. And as you did, you felt a surge of power, but not before a surge of panic. when you heard shouts coming from down the opposite corridor. And so you left. The rest is somewhat of a blur, even with a 19. But you remember exactly how valuable this pale root bulb you have is, as you perhaps take it out from your leathers and analyze it a bit more closely once again, feeling your eyes flick over to that deep violet color reflected from the root bulb. With this, you kind of reposition it back inside of your leathers and look across the small cavern that you've been camping out in. You see Ayla is up and at him, looking over all the gear, looking out towards the direction of Darkwell, or at least what she thinks is the direction of Darkwell. You know that she's about 40 degrees off from her current heading. And so as you poke your head around, perhaps you take a good look at the way ahead. You see Thalindra is finally beginning to move. She packs up what little she has with her, assumes it into her pack, which you know could just as easily become part of her form with a well-timed wild shape. And all of you begin to set out once again, trudging through the deep, cold bog. The air is humid and crisp, and so you might imagine that the time of day is, well, night. But you're not sure, because it's impossible to see what exactly is giving you light from overhead. Be it the moon or the sun, all is just sort of a blanket of gray. Who is leading the party in this moment? I assume that it's Nyx. It has been for most of this.
As we travel,
but...
I'd like to try to keep an eye out for anything that might help us sleep easier on this journey.
Okay. Russell, as Thalindra, I'm going to have you make a nature check, because you are the only one that has seen the creature that they were trying to use to put you to sleep. Everyone else was asleep when this happened, but you woke up to a caterpillar on your arm that you swatted off, and it stung you. You were able to resist its sting, but... okay. With a 9, you know exactly what you're looking for, but you're just not sure where to find it. You look around, and you find a number of different creatures,
I would be in front,
leeches.
checking the wind's direction.
Okay. I would say with your prior survival check, there is no wind. Regardless of your survival check, there is no wind, and you can feel that immediately, but perhaps the absence of wind, perhaps the absence of heading does sort of stumble you a bit. You are moving through the water, but occasionally stop and turn, your armor sort of creating its own pulses and waves as you see your two allies following close behind. Nyx is moving not only silently, but without creating very many ripples in the water. She's accustomed to this mode of travel. And as you look around, you also see Thalindra, who is occasionally swatting at the water, trying to pull up whatever creatures are around her with her 9 nature check. She's just not finding what it was that she was stung by before. Perhaps even with a 9, you're not sure if it is a caterpillar that would dwell on land, or perhaps like a waterborne slug of some kind. In any case, you can't quite find what you're looking for there. As Ayla continues to lead ahead, Nyx, I would say you actually begin to get a little bit worried. It seems like you may be taking a long path around. But I'll leave it up to you. Do you trust your friend to continue leading forward, or do you give them a gentle push in the right direction? Do keep in mind it'll require a survival check from you too. You're not going to get off scot-free. Scott!
You guys haven't seen Entitled Housewife on Instagram?
She's obsessed.
I flew to New York City this weekend solely to see her. She's so funny. Highly recommend.
Forget catching fish, Thalindra. They do not follow this stream willingly. We must keep heading south if we're to remain hidden.
Okay. And you, maybe as you say south, you point in a direction. I'm going to have you make a survival check for me. So, Danny, !R, survival. We're going to see if the direction you're pointing is actually the direction you need to go. I would imagine with Ayla's unsure guidance and her familiarity with your intimate knowledge of the area, she'll defer to your
I would love
judgment.
to use divine sense to feel any presence.
Okay. So Ayla, as you defer to your friend Nyx here, you burn a use of your channel divinity, allowing her to sort of overtake you and take the lead. You hold tight to your chest, breathe easy, and your antlers actually begin to glow a little bit as they're almost sonar. You can kind of feel them rattle with the presence of any sort of wildlife that your divine sense might pick up. And as you wait for a moment, trying to see what divine sense sees again, because I do forget from time to time. Celestials, fiends, and undead. Okay. As your antlers sort of vibrate, they occasionally sort of jitter, but you have come to understand that means there's wildlife around. They never quite give you that unsettling quake that would indicate that something is immediately near that matches those descriptions. So no celestials, fiends, or undead at the moment. You do have that up for 10 minutes. So Nyx, with your 16, as you sort of take the lead and begin guiding your friends, Ayla's horns light up and you maybe shake a head for a second, thinking that's just going to draw attention to you. You plot your way ahead, and as you take the lead, even though you'd been so trusting of Ayla, you come to realize that you've actually veered further off path than you imagined. You all are in the, you're going to be just west of the mountain range now, so south of Darkwell. And so as you point that you're trying to move from the mountains, you realize that it's not quite the right direction, so you circumvent, but you realize that you have kind of taken the long way around here. And if you want to get there within the next day of travel, you realize you might have to take a little bit of a shortcut, follow a path that you're not quite familiar with. Would you like to take longer to get there, or you want to take the new shortcut? I'll let you pick because you're leading. So that'll be you, Danny. The way you're accustomed to going is sucked up near the mountains, and there is quite a bit of bog marsh there, but you're almost to the open water at this point. You've been traveling west for so long. Saft says, "Give me points. I want to spend." Oh, Saft, thank you for being here, man. Good to have you.
BTW Tides gifted 5 subs.
Yeah, thank you, Tides.
I was messing with him in the chat. I was like, y'all saw he didn't even blink at that.
She's always so supportive. I've become accustomed to it. I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled guy.
I'm picking.
Curse it all. The creatures have riddled the landscapes I once knew.
Yeah. There are quite a few creatures out and about, and you're used to the small ones. I mean, after all, when you escaped years ago, you might have run into a couple that could have been life-threatening for a younger version of Nyx. But even now, I mean, that constrictor snake and the sturges that you ran into, they are a bit more dangerous than you're used to seeing in this area. You've certainly never seen anything to that scale, at least not in the wild here.
And my feet's asleep.
So, Danny, do you think you guys want to take the shortcut, or do you want to take the long way? Kind of retracing your steps a bit. You are leading the party, so you get to make that decision here. The rest of you, if you're just joining us, welcome to Chat Plays D&D. Feel free to type exclamation point guidance in the chat for instructions on how to play, and exclamation point roleplay to join the opt-in pool to be selected to pilot some of these characters as time goes on. You can see the bot occasionally in the chat letting people know how many uses they have left, and when they run out, it will select a new player to pilot that character, but only if you've been a good little active chatter. I cast guidance and try to disguise it. Danny, what do you think, man? Big decision here. I imagine birthday boy is thinking real hard over there.
I trust in you, my sisters, on which we travel. But know this. We must be very cautious.
Okay. If you're being cautious, I imagine, and if you trust your sisters, I imagine you are taking the shortcut and being cautious. I need a for sure answer. I don't want to pull you in one direction or another. It is up to you guys. But as of right now, you rolled well enough to know that your rations are running low. You could take an extra day, but I mean, the longer you take, the more exhaustion you might accrue. There are risks in both directions. It just depends on what risk you want to take at this point. Let it be known that bad rolls do have consequences here on the Constructed Chaos channel. I'm not just going to give it.
Ew.
What are we thinking, Danny? And I see you guys constructing chaos over here in the chat. Crystal's still in the early stages. I'm not worried, but I am prepared if it happens. Everybody except for Ayla is exhausted currently. Yeah, that is part of being here in Darkwell and trying to find sleep. It's hard to find good dreams. It is uniquely magical in that way.
Jesus Christ, Mabel. She jumped up and scared me.
Wow, she lives here.
I know. Scared me.
You guys want to know about our dogs? You can type exclamation point pups in the chat.
I think she needs to go out. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. Danny, I'm waiting on a decision from you, man. Oh, everybody's waiting on you. I'm gonna give you a little bit more time, but if I don't hear from you, I'm gonna have to cycle you out and get somebody else to make the call, either shortcut or long way round.
Shortcut it is. Keep clear eyes open.
Okay. I think Ayla has pulled ahead and sort of placing her trust in you and letting you know that she's ready for whatever comes ahead. You begin to march down the shortcut. As you all shift as silently as you can through the bog north towards Darkwell now, each of your steps are beginning to utter an unsettling slurp as the ground releases you. It's not quite calf-deep water anymore, but it is just this thick sinking mud. Your dizzied and exhausted minds threaten to topple you into the mire while the world around you sags under the weight of the dense, ever-present fog. You travel for what must be hours, but you're far beyond keeping time now. When finally, the soggy soil rises slightly into packed, squelching dirt. You stop to take a breath and reprieve when you notice a peculiar whistling sound drifting through the stale air. What do you all do as you hear this? It's very faint, but it certainly sounds like something that a sound an animal would make. But it could also just be
Oh gods. Not here. We're is dire danger. We're near its nest.
Could be. Could certainly be. You guys did run into some sturges before. I'll say Danny with that. Go ahead and make a nature check for me to see if you can identify what the sound is. You're kind of taking a guess that it might be an animal, that you might be near a nest. I want to see if your hunch is correct, or if maybe you begin to second guess yourself. Okay, with an 11, you're sure that this is not just the wind blowing through the hollow trees. As a matter of fact, there is still no wind, so that's an impossibility. You're positive it's not a branch scraping against some other structure. This is definitely an animal's sound. You're just not sure what it is, and it does sound a little far off, but it's in the direction that you're traveling. What do you all do? Inspired Camel thinks it might be giant mosquitoes. I'm inclined to agree, given what you guys have run into so far. But I guess we'll just have to find out. Saf says my name is also Dan, and I'm engaged. Saf, congrats on the engagement. Sturge, could be. I'll let the three adventurers tell me what they want to do with the information that they have. So any of you can
should
speak
cautiously approach and sneak up. Congratulations, Saft.
Ayla suggests a cautious approach, and I think that is well-founded. As you suggest this to your allies, I'm going to have everyone roll a stealth check. Ayla, you'll have to roll at disadvantage, and I have been keeping track of the exhaustion. Our system's not set up to subtract it, but I'm just taking 2 off for Nyx and Thalindra. So Ayla, you'll roll first. Exclamation point R, stealth DIS. Because you are in plate armor, you have disadvantage on those stealth checks. Wait, no, I'm engaged in the game. Oh, sorry, Saft. Oh, okay. Zazima's the only one, Ayla was the only one not exhausted, but a 4 is not looking good. As you move through the muck, occasionally your armor gets a little stuck and it clangs and clamors as you shuffle to get it unstuck. Nyx, go ahead and roll stealth for me to see how well you do. Perhaps you can help mask the presence of your friend somewhat. It's going to be tough, but if anybody can do it, you can. So Danny, that'll be stealth check from you. Exclamation point R, stealth. And then Russell, you'll be rolling next. Okay, a 25 is going to pretty well balance out that 4. So it'll all come down to Russell here. Thalindra, go ahead and roll me a stealth check. And we're going to see exactly how quiet you all are as you approach. I'm going to roll a little dice on my end here. Okay, some pretty middling rolls here. The 25 is doing you a lot of favors as Ayla moves on ahead, her armor clinking. Nyx sort of places a hand on it to keep it at least from reverberating. The clink is still there, but it's at least not a sound that is being held out for long. Thalindra moves in behind you and maybe stumbles for a moment, placing a hand on a rotted branch that collapses instantly with a loud crack as it settles into the mud with a thud. You all kind of look around at each other, realizing you're only going to be able to be so stealthy within this area, but you must press on. And so you all continue to move forward. You inch closer and closer to what you now all are beginning to realize is musical in nature. It doesn't sound like it sounds like maybe a bird song. And as you hear this song swim through the air, you get close enough to spot just a pinprick of light through the fog. About 30 feet ahead of you, you see something sort of floating back and forth in almost a figure 8 pattern.
Ayla tries to muffle her armor with her hands. It doesn't help.
I will say, Ayla, as you're trying to muffle the armor along with Nyx, Nyx, you and Ayla are sort of leading the pack, and you are ahead of everyone else. So, Zazima, go ahead and roll me a perception check here to see exactly how much you notice about this light moving in a figure 8 ahead of you. So exclamation point R, perception. Once again, that exhaustion is going to ding you for 2 here. So a 14 brought down to a 12. You see this little glowing light, and it must be maybe a glow bug of some sort. It is a tiny insect or creature, but it is generating an alarming amount of noise. As it sort of swoops from side to side, you see it's actually leaving a little bit of a sparkling trail down over sort of what appears to be a collapsed tree, like an old stump, and embedded in the top of it, a weapon. You're not sure exactly what, but it may be an axe that chopped down the tree or something like that. More than anything, you can tell that they are indeed singing, but you can't hear the words of what they're saying. Not without getting closer. With how loud you've been, you feel as though you might end up getting noticed if you get any closer. What would you all like to do? I have a feeling that our good friend Danny may know what this is. So Matt in as Ayla now, Zazima as Nyx, and Russell as Thylindra. What would you all like to do? Seeing this mysterious floating insect that seems to be glowing and dropping a small trail of light onto an old tree stump as they sing some sort of song. Certainly an odd creature. And one that rolled very poorly on perception not to have noticed you all
Ayla
yet.
is cautious, just watching, almost in a trance.
Okay. Ayla continues to just sort of look forward and discern any other details that she might be able to glean from this before pressing in any closer. Whatever it is, it's beautiful. It certainly doesn't seem nearly as threatening as the creatures and inhabitants that you've run into. Whoa, Danny! It's your birthday, not mine! What the hell?
We're supposed to be celebrating you.
Danny, thank you for the $50. He said, birthday surprise! Danny, we're so glad to have you, man. Enjoy your chaos points. Enjoy your birthday. Thank you for being here on your birthday. I hope you enjoy what is to come. But you certainly feel, you all feel, Ayla especially though, that whatever this creature
Does the divine sense pick up anything from Ayla?
Ayla, yeah, your divine sense, it would have faded by now, but I'm going to give you a solid and tell you that there's like a little bit of a residual hum, and you feel like these antlers would have picked up if that was a celestial fiend or undead. I believe those are the 3 you get. Yeah, celestials, fiends, and undead. So you know it's at least not any of those things. It seems to be as friendly a creature as you've come across. You know what? I'm going to have you make an insight check, Ayla. Go ahead and make an insight check for me. Exclamation point R, insight. Saft! Thank you for the gifted membership. You guys are also friendly today. You guys should announce your birthdays more often. I get stuff. I'm like a little kid whose brother's having a birthday.
We know when Saft is.
Yeah.
The day before Freddy's.
Yep, we learned that. And we never forget Freddy's.
Never forget. 9/11, baby.
So Matt, as Ayla, go ahead and roll me an insight check. Non-exhausted one. If you guys aren't caught up, make sure to tick that little live button on the stream. It'll make sure and bump you up to within about 2 to 3 seconds of me saying stuff. Whoa! There it is, a 22. Ayla, aided by the horns on your head, you ascertain, of course, that this is not celestial, fiend, undead, none of that. But rather, this appears to be some sort of fey ritual. Whatever this creature is, it is conducting a ritual upon this old rotten stump, this collapsed tree. And it appears to be a good ritual. It certainly doesn't appear to be stealing any life from the area around it. Not that there is much to steal. So you feel as though this creature should be friendly. Might be the only friendly creature within a 100-mile radius. That is the feeling you get on that 22 insight check. So what do you all do with that information? Yay for December birthdays. Indeed. Mabel is also a December birthday.
She is. She's on Christmas Eve. A little rat elf
Sweet
girl.
little baby Mabel.
Yeah, who needs to be held right now.
Yeah, she's off camera right now, but she's just as cute as usual.
Just know she's in my lap.
Yeah. So what are you all thinking? Ayla seems to be enamored by this creature and maybe even
Ayla would
forgetting.
like to approach if her sisters think so as well. L.
Okay. In that case, you begin to move forward, kind of letting go of the...
I will stay hidden while Ayla and Thalindra approach.
Okay. Zazima, so that's a 23, not a 25 because you have exhaustion, but it is a 23 stealth. You are staying hidden about 30 feet back as Ayla and Thalindra approach. I will say that even though you release any illusion of stealth, Ayla and Thalindra, you notice that this creature is so distracted, it takes a moment for them to notice you as you approach. Your armor begins to clink as you move forward. And I'm going to say that you actually get about 10 feet from the creature, just shy of it, and you can see quite clearly now that this is a small dragonfly-winged pixie just sort of fluttering back and forth. And now that you're closer, you can hear their song. With pass of time, with words that rhyme, let go your dreary vines. With silky wings, with glitter dreams, return to peaceful sleeping. And as they finish that second stanza, they flutter in their figure eight pattern, veering a little bit wider than before as you catch a scent of lavender petals, sea salt, and rosemary. They make eye contact with you. Their song stops abruptly as she turns in your direction with a startled look on her face. Her last lyrics ring out through the mire in an unnerving echo, and the silence curdles. In a flash, the green vines leap up from the axe embedded in the tree and thoroughly ensnare the pixie. She has hardly time to gasp before she disappears into a small knot at the end of the vines that now wind themselves together. From within, you can hear her muffled voice. Help! I'm going to have you all roll for initiative.
Oh my God.
Ayla, go ahead and roll first for me. So exclamation point R initiative. You guys thought you were safe in Darkwell? No, no, no. No such thing as safety in Darkwell. Oh no! The natty one! Okay, so I see this now. Matt got a 1. Oh my god, 2 nat 1s in a row, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Zazima got a nat 1 for Nyx, which is a total of 5 minus 2, so 3. Unfortunately, Matt Steely got a nat 1. Thalindra, I'm going to have you roll initiative next, so you may be the only one that's going before anything anything in this combat. A 9. Okay, it's certainly better than a 3 and a 1. We will take it.
Well, it was a 1 on a die plus 5, so they had a 6.
Well, the other nat 1 was a 0.
I know. So one of them is a 6.
Yeah. But, 6, you're right.
Yes.
Minus 2, though, because they're exhausted. So 4. Yeah. So we have... everybody's calling TPK already. Could
This
happen.
damn armor.
So, Lindra, Nyx, Ayla. Got it. Okay. So as combat begins, the owl bear that has been trekking with all of you rushes up from behind you into the fray, detecting a threat and a threat to their friend Thalindra, no less. We
Now
get
that I've introduced Mabel to sitting in my sweater. That's all she wants. Whoops.
Whoops. Okay, so at the very bottom of the screen there, you should be able to see yourself, Nyx. Let me grab the owl bear. Forgot he's out here. That's a frog. Where's my owl bear? Where's my owl bear?
Where's my super suit? Is it not over here on the side?
Nope. Put him somewhere. He's hiding. Hiding from me. So he's going to be rushing around. Nyx, I'm going to say you're stealth behind this tree over here as the owl bear makes their way. Unfortunately, neither of them were fast enough to close on this creature. Dude, I can't find any of my minis. Grab a different one. This creature was once a stump and a pixie, but is now an amalgamation of both. A pixie on a stick, if you will. As that, this sort of grasping vine reaching out from the center of this tree trunk begins to whirl this pixie ball around like a bludgeon. You see a little bit of glitter running off of it. It is going to reach out from 10 feet away, and I'm going to say it's going to try and strike you, Thalindra, since you seem to be a little bit more alert.
The set looks really good, babe.
Thank you. Thalindra does a 15 hit. Okay, in your base form, Thalindra, a 15 does hit, but it is a glancing blow. We just started doing this, so the damage will be halved. Thalindra takes 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Bringing you down to just 22. And, you know what? This will be fun. Russell, why don't you roll a D4 for me? Just exclamation point R D4.
Oh boy.
And let's see what happens. Dwayne says, loving this interaction so far. Okay, a 3. As the pixie ball connects with you, you hear, ow! As a little bit of glitter shoots out, covering you in a cloud, and you feel sick. Like, just not necessarily food poisoning sick, but just like a furtherance of the exhaustion that you've been feeling, so much so that it is making you dizzy. You now have the poison condition until the end of your next turn. So I'm going to mark that down. Or rather, voice in my head, would you like to throw a poison ring on Thalindra here?
Yes, it's going to take me a second because voice in your head has a weenie in her shirt. Poison. On who?
Thalindra. That's going to be this one.
Can't reach.
Neither can I, apparently. So Thalindra, you feel that poison sort of rippling through you as we now see the vine sort of retract into the stump. You all feel a rumbling beneath the ground as several roots begin to push up through the soil. When they come back down, they're almost pulled like they're on a tether as the pixie's trying to fly away from this vine. She's almost able to pull away. It's stretching like a rubber band as when she wails. I need everyone within 20 feet, so that's going to be Ayla and Thalindra, to make a charisma saving throw. We'll do Ayla first. So Ayla, go ahead and roll exclamation point R CHA save. And then Thalindra, I think poisoned is not for everything. Let me double check. Yeah, just attack rolls and ability checks. So, with a 12, oh no. Ayla, your horns cause that wail to resonate to the point where your paladin senses begin to kick in. You feel as though you need to protect this creature, not hurt them, or at least the pixie inside of them. You wouldn't want to swing too hard and accidentally hit that pixie, would you? You're going to have the charmed condition until the end of your next turn. So, if you would like to drop the charmed condition on our friend Ayla here, you see her sort of unsure about what strike she should take to release this pixie without harming them. She's flying very erratically. As we move on, Belindra, I need you to make a charisma saving throw. I will not forget. It is just straight charisma save, no disadvantage, but you are unfortunately exhausted. 15, brought down to 13, just exactly saves against this effect. You, for a moment, are worried about the creature tied to the natural elements as you are, Fey being as you are, as your mother is. You feel akin to this creature, but you're able to shake it off, realizing that they are in more danger now than you could possibly pose. So the important thing would be to get them out, even if you cause them a bit of damage in the process.
Do you see Saf's super chat? It says, I'm going big because I'm going home.
Fair enough, Saf. putting the cart before the horse there, but we love it. Thank you for the $10, man. That's very nice of you.
I really got a chuckle out of that one.
So, moving on from this creature's turn, that is all they're able to do. Thalindra, it's your go. You go before your own owlbear. You are currently poisoned, so you'll have disadvantage on any attack rolls you make, but you have other things you can do. So, Thalindra, Russell, what would you like to do in this moment as this pixie is bound in a little root ball, trying to get away from a vine that has ensnared them after conducting some odd fey ritual on it? Yes. Construct more chaos. Let it build. For those of you who don't know, we got chaos constructed in the last session. That's how this owlbear got here. They are going to be helping in this combat. They're not just sitting idly by. What do you think, Russell? You still there, buddy? Of course he is. He did roll that save just a moment ago. Just barely was able to make that save.
I cast aid on the pixie as well as Ayla and Nyx, then
Okay.
wild shape into a bear.
Got it. A very nice turn. Okay, so we cast aid on both. Let's see. It was the pixie
Ayla and Nyx and
Ayla.
Pixie.
and Nyx. So basically everyone but yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you push your palms out a little bit, you allow the power of Bramble's turnips to surge through you, and you bestow upon your allies, not yourself, selfless as you are, selfless as Bramble would be, the power to resist a few more hits than usual, or perhaps just one extra, as with aid, everyone's hit points go up by 5 for the duration. So let me tack that on real quick. Max HP up by 5. That puts Ayla at 37. Very nice.
Oh, Danny, it might be their capital C on your chaos. It may not recognize that. Try it with a lowercase, because it looks like it didn't take it.
Nyx goes to 21, and your owlbear companion now has 64 hit points. They're pretty tanky. As you do that, turning to see your owlbear and how tanky they are, you're like, good idea. You begin to wild shape yourself. And I'm trying to remember what form. A bear. A brown bear. Tag team bears here. Coming in. You see, it's hard to smirk as an owl, but you see sort of a wrinkle in their fur go up on one side as they see you transform into your furry brown resemblance of them. You let out a mighty roar as they from behind you. Your battle cry struck, summoned. You see every once in a while that pixie sort of peeks out from the root ball that binds them, and they are looking a bit hardier by what you can tell. They're surrounded by sort of this magical exuberance, but they are still trapped, unfortunately. As we move on from your turn, it is the owlbear's turn. Seeing you transform, the owlbear thunders ahead, leaping onto your back and almost leapfrogging you to get up behind this vine creature that has shambled forward a bit. It slides on the rock as it grinds to a halt. You hear its claws digging up the rock, or what little bedrock there is beneath this mud. As its feet sort of pedal against the slick surface, it charges in and swoops with two claws out at this creature. That is going to be a 17, which will hit, and a non-natural 20, which will also hit. I am, however, going to roll an int save because I want to see what this bear is targeting, this owl bear. I want to see if they're targeting the moving object or what it's connected to. Unfortunately, their int save is not so good, and so they're going to lash out at the moving object, the vine holding the pixie, and the ball that seems to be doing damage to everyone. It has assessed that as a threat. I will let you on a subsequent turn instruct it otherwise or tell it otherwise, but as of right now, it is going to strike out against the pixie. With both of those hitting, it deals... Hang on. It's going to deal 28 damage to the pixie as it lashes out at the vines. I don't want to take this from you guys. That feels dirty. That feels dirty to make it roll for it. I think it... Okay. It's going to make one attack on the pixie. You're going to lose one attack. I'm going to say that. It slashes out, striking the root ball, and it hears the pixie's shrill cry, and in that moment realizes it's done something wrong, bringing the other claw into the trunk that is attacking this pixie. You see rotten wood split out from under it as it skitters into the mud. It deals 14 points to the evil creature, but also 14 to the pixie.
Oh, 14 to the pixie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't want to just make a decision for you guys. I think the dice do tell a story here, and the story is that the owlbear hit the pixie, realized that was a bad idea, and then swung on the trunk underneath it. As we move on from the owlbear's turn, it is Nyx's turn. Nyx, you are well hidden behind this tree here, back away from some of the fighting. You don't think this creature has noticed you yet. If it has, it certainly hasn't made any aggressive moves towards you. What would you like to do? Ayla, you'll be on deck here, so be thinking about what you want to do next.
I will use my short bow on the tree and I will steady my aim beforehand.
Okay, so Nyx, you maybe lean out from where the tree is, keeping your feet firmly planted and training your... You said short bow. Training your short bow around the tree and waiting for the exact moment that you can strike through the crowd of your allies leading up to this creature. It is elevated, so you have a pretty clear line of shot. I'm going to say make an attack roll with advantage. It's going to be !RDEX attack ADV. It's a big one, but I trust it. I trust you. You can do this. You got this, Azima. You've been here before. You know what it's all about. Saf knows how to construct chaos. Nice. Oh, low rolls, but I will tell you, as you rear back and at the last moment, the owlbear sort of moves in front of your shot. You veer off, but you have the wherewithal to sort of flick the back end of the arrow, so its fletching actually causes it to spin on an arc, and it does just barely connect with this stump. As you do find purchase, I'm going to have you roll, including your sneak attack damage. So it's going to be 3d6 plus 3d6 plus 3. So exclamation point R 3d6 plus 3. I think that's a short bow, right? Yeah, short bow's d6. So 14 points of piercing damage will be halved because it is a glancing blow that works both ways as you deal exactly 7 damage to this stump. As your arrow embeds in deep, you hear it from behind your tree perch, the boing of the wood sort of flicking against the dead bark of this stump. The pixie continues to scream as it is flailed about, nearly bludgeoning your friends all around them. As we move on now to Ayla. Ayla, you are charmed by this creature, so you cannot make attacks against it on this turn. But you can do other things. Ayla, what would you like to do? Yeah, sorry about that, buddy. But that is part of the stat block. I did legitimately, for you guys that are interested, make a pixie on a stick stat block.
He's very excited about it.
It's one of the coolest stat blocks I've ever made, man. I can't wait to put this out. We put out monthly membership homebrew pamphlets through the channel. Our memberships are $5 a month, and you get access to all of them. This one will be on the December issue, which should be slotted for a few months from now, and it will be well worth the wait, I promise. Pixie on a stick.
Pixie on a stick. Pixie on a stick.
What?
Pixie on a
Can
stick.
Ayla
Pixie
use
on a stick.
Druidcraft to create a wall of fire shielding her sisters?
I think
Why not just use the spell Wall of Fire?
we don't have
How
access
much
to
we
that.
like that one.
We don't have access to that
I
time.
know, I'm kidding.
I think that I'm going to allow you to try that. I'm not going to tell you what the DC is, but I'm going to have you make a performance check if you want to try and do this, to try and convince the stump that there is a fire and that attacking you and your allies may be disadvantageous. So exclamation point R performance if you want to move ahead with that. Renarius joining in the roleplay pool. And Saft with another gifted membership. Thank you, man. You didn't have to do
I
that.
think Renarius is home from work now.
Welcome home, friend. Okay, as you begin to gather magical energy around you, drawing not on your divine power that you got from becoming a paladin of the ancients, but rather drawing on what little nature magic there is around you. And as you feel that nature magic gathering, you are concerned
I want the
with
PTS.
Want the points. Well, either way, happy to have you here, man. We really appreciate you.
Character one is swapped over to Saft now.
So Saft, as Ayla, as you begin to gather that nature magic in, you're a bit concerned with how ill-intended this magic is. Every bit of magical energy has some sort of will or intent behind it, and this one flares to life. As fire conjures in your palm, you spew out this illusion of flame, or rather, this not very present flame against the muck in front of you as you smell the singe of burned mud. You see the creatures just continuing to flail wildly. Unfortunately, they did not fall for your ruse as far as it looks. Now, you do still have a bonus action. I don't know if there's anything you'd like to do with that. You do still have your movement. You can do that as well. Just keep in mind you can't make attacks against this creature, unfortunately, while you are charmed. But as we're coming to the end of your turn, you feel that sense of worry for the pixie's safety begin to fade away. You're still worried about them, but you come to understand, based on the fire that you've drawn with your druid craft, the absolutely vicious will of the magic in this area, that there are much more dangerous things, and that saving this pixie might just mean they get a little bit hurt and you need to leap into action. So that feeling washes away from you as we move back to the top of initiative with the pixie on a stick.
Shield of Faith on the pixie.
Okay, I like that. Go ahead and drop a concentration ring on Ayla for me, voice in my head. As you realize that the pixie is probably going to take some blows here, you conjure a bit of magic yourself, pushing out a sort of holy aura that surrounds this now bludgeon that is swirling about out of this trunk. You do still see sort of the face sparkles leaving it as it slams against things, but you do at least feel like the pixie may be better protected within. Almost like a chicken within an egg. Or an unhatched chicken within an egg. A yolk, I suppose.
First, the chicken or the egg?
Hard to know, really. As we now move back to its turn, it is going to make another slam attack. I'm going to say this time it's going to try and hit the owl bear that is circled around it. And a 9, unfortunately, is not, or rather fortunately for you all, is not going to hit the owl bear as Thalindra, your nimble companion, is ready for this attack, moves out of the way as a stream of sparkles glide just past its chest feathers.
Glitter bomb.
Yeah, they sort of plume and ruffle as the glitter falls off of its underbelly. You see it beginning to sort of lift from the ground as it settles back down with its claws now sunken into the mud to try and hold it in place. We move on from its turn now to Thalindra. Thalindra, you are no longer poisoned, because that only lasts for a round. What would you like to do? And Nyx, you'll be the next player character to go. There is an owlbear between you and Thalindra, but just be thinking about what you may want to do here. You're back behind that tree. You are not hiding, but you are in an advantageous position. What are you thinking, Thalindra? Do keep in mind, you guys are exhausted. We actually should
Can I
probably
use
throw
my
some
bestial
rings on
strength to restrain the vines? In some way?
Yeah, I think you absolutely could. I would say that's a grapple check. And in your current form, essentially it's an unarmed strike. Now to make grapples, and then they need to make athletics or acrobatics against your DC if it hits. So go ahead and make a attack as the bear. I'm going to have you just roll a d20, and I will add in your modifier myself. Exclamation point R d20. Mm-hmm. 16, not bad. Now, you are exhausted. So that comes down to a 14. But with the brown bears, well, this is the legacy version. God dang it, D&D Beyond.
God damn it, Scott.
God dang it, Scott. Scott, get in here.
God.
That is going to be a 19, which will hit as you connect. I always forget how this stupid grapple thing works now. Let's see. They changed it up, and I remember looking at it and thinking, "Oh, this makes way more sense," but I forget it now because it's different. It's just a little bit different. Strength or dexterity saving throw. Oh, I see. You know what? You hit it very well, and it rolled really poorly. I did that wrong, but you absolutely are able to grapple the creature, giving it disadvantage to hit anyone else. You're able to hold down the vine in such a way that you imagine the fairy may not be taking quite as much damage, but you certainly could be in line for some if that vine starts swinging towards your face. As you pin it with your bear form, we move on to the owl bear. The owlbear is going to make some attacks as you hold down this vine emerging from the stump. Now knowing not to swipe at the pixie, it rolls a 12 on the die for a 19 and an 8 on the die for a 15. Both of those will hit, dealing a whopping 28 damage to the stump. The stump is barely holding together now, and now that much of the bark on the outside of it is peeled away, you can see within it is this tangled, writhing mess of vines with one long vine exuding out, and you can see a lot of those vines are sort of plunged into the ground. You begin to ascertain that they may actually be roots of some kind, as you see them sort of poking up all around the rest of the area. I'm going to say that it is absolutely bloodied at this point. You can tell that much, and we're going to move on to Nyx. Nyx, what would you like to do?
I will my short bow since I have advantage because of steady aim. I will try and not hit our owlbear or tall and aim for the vines to free the pixie.
Okay. Nyx, as you rear back, seeing your friend Thalindra pinning the vine to the ground, you know that now is your chance to perhaps sever the pixie from it, and you loose an arrow. You're going to roll with advantage, so exclamation point R, DEX, attack, ADV. And we'll see if you're able to hit. Here's to hoping that you are. We won't forget exhaustion. Oh, it's going to be so nice when this is all built in. 22 coming down to a non-natural, a nice easy non-natural 20. As you loose this arrow, you find the seam through your allies. Thalindra moves out of the way just in time as the arrow stretches across the vine, beginning to fray and cut it. I'm going to have you roll damage with your sneak attack dice. Once again, it's going to be 3d6 plus 3 to see how much damage you're dealing to it. It is already quite a bit worse for wear. And for those of you who haven't checked out our upcoming upgrade already, head over to chatplaysdnd.com. Have a look at what we have coming down the pipe. Exclamation point R 3d6 plus 3. Sorry, I may have misspoke. That might be my fault. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty all-inclusive one-stop shop for running a character in Chat Plays D&D. You'll still have to type in chat if you want to speak, but everything else should work pretty well there. 16 points of damage. Nyx, as this arrow flies from your short bow, I'm going to have you describe how you end this combat, how you defeat this stump. How does this end? How do you see this coming to a close here? Why don't you let us know? You're the DM now.
Second DM.
You guys handled, oddly enough, being exhausted, you guys handled that combat way better than you have in the past. Didn't necessarily expect it to be a big challenge, but you guys were exhausted. And this thing can do some cool stuff. You got to see a little bit of it. You know what else I did realize too? That the owlbear's attacks before would not have killed the pixie because they had an extra 5
Describe the
hit points.
demise, DTD, or how do you want to do this, Vute?
Yeah, that'll be you, Zazima.
I will loose the arrow and finally fit through the slit between my friends and bullseye the stump after severing the vine.
Okay, as the vine is severed, the arrow sort of skips off of the rocky protrusion that it sits atop, bounces off of one of the only trees that is not fully rotten, and whenever it ricochets back, pierces into the stump, and you hear like an unsettling as it cracks open. The pixie, now freed, goes sputtering out and begins sort of swirling around, looking down at all of you, seeing an owlbear, finds a perch in a nearby tree and hides behind a small branch before peeking out at all of you. You see, as the stump splits, a large great axe that was embedded in the top of it tumbles out to the ground. It looks somewhat rusted. All of you can tell you're close enough to see that. But as you inspect your surroundings and as you look at the expression of this very frightened pixie who's not exactly sure if you're friend or foe, we're going to go on a quick break and we'll come back in about 10 minutes. So don't go nowhere. We'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Oh, terribly sorry. I didn't know anyone would be here while the stream was running. Give me a moment to tidy up. It's much better. Well, while you're here, we might as well take a moment to thank all of our members for supporting the channel and bringing this stream to life. A huge thanks to Tides of Mo, Tabletop Beard, Grim Reaper, Atmos Seeker, Justinian of Darkport, Angel Jobert, Angel of Darkport, Brett Venable, Dutin 103, Zebek Longfang, Lil Tired, Memebot 69000, XIVM, Jason Miller, Corey of Darkport, Devin Beard, Wilfredo Figueroa, Ruby Rod, Sam Huffpower, Daniel Struve, Agile Monk, Moon Goose McQueen, Jude Eshett, Russell Mooney, Licia Harding, Saft 911, James Carr, Felsi, Drazadi, Renarius Ash Kevrin, Ira Wing, Ashik, McFry, Braden Nail, Joe Tipton, Hellhound, Primal Kane, T. Rito, Reddit Chuck, Luffy, Lions, Wolf Uzamike, Wistra, Bot, Threated D, The Drow 29, The Azure Sky, Bacon and Bug, Chris Nelson, XRP General, Potato Bob, Garen Blackmore, Alasan Gaming, Curtis Ellis, Aaron Barokin, Tom Rocket, Tom Server, Chaos the Truth, Andrew Brown, Bob Zippity, Goddamn Cam, Meta Lisa, Flynn, Dwayne Bradway, Lobos, Tiago Livas, Samurai Knight, Top 0240, JXC, Jonathan Gonzalez, David R, Thai Local Dog Boy, The Boom Master, and Rotten Apples. You know, members get tons of unique benefits as well, like these weekly shoutouts and emojis that they can use in the stream chat, and a heaping helping of chaos points that can be used to, well, perhaps it's better to show you.
Welcome to Constructed Chaos, a D&D live play channel where you get to control the game. Join us on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time for our in-person live stream that allows you to influence our adventures in major ways. From alternate plot points to rerolls to absolute chaos. And tune in on Mondays at 7 for our brand new Chat Plays D&D format where you get to roll the dice and pilot the characters themselves straight from the live stream chat. And between it all, there's tons of homebrew content and guides that we release every single month. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
Greetings, viewers. Bramble Backfoot hopping by to let you know about our monthly homebrew packets issued to all those brave enough to join the ranks of our prestigious order. With a plethora of items, monsters, mechanics, and more, it's easier than ever to bring chaos home to your table. So become a member and let's fight the forces of evil together.
Thank you, you're all too kind, and the drinks are on me tonight! Ha 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 ha! Oh, you must not have enabled gifted memberships! Let me show you how. Ha 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 ha! What you'll want to do is make your way over to our channel page and then add /allow_gifts. From there, you can turn on the toggle for free stuff and join in the chaos. Ha 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 ha! Now for my next tune, a little ditty about a dead necromancer named Pinky.
Hello, Drazad here. Oh my god, you have got to come check out all of our wares. We have so many different things. Help support the stream and get yourself some new magic items as well over at the Constructed Chaos store.
Perfect beard brew, perhaps lizard wart, or giant scorpion venom, and a watcher's eye stalk. And just a little dust of undryness. Not my nice crafting table! Smells pretty good, actually. Fireball! Bring home the chaos of juniper forest and magical embers with my own personal beard products in partnership with Tabletop Beard.
Bear Dritz here, letting you in on a little-known ranger secret that'll keep you satiated in the wild, even when you have no rations left. Ew, not that. I'm talking about subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon. It's easy to miss the signs of a stream going live if you're not prepared. So make sure to do that and... What was that? Hold it right there, adventurer. We're looking for some deviants that refuse to like this video while they're still watching. You wouldn't happen to know anything about this heinous crime, would you? Well then, as you were, but stay out of trouble.
It appeared out of thin air when they found it, as if by the will of the plains themselves. A curious and mysterious bauble that has turned up time and time again throughout the ages. Some have studied it all their lives, hoping to unravel its uniquely fascinating magical properties. Many more have used its power for their own, though all falling victim to fate in the end. Now, it calls to you. By chance, by destiny, by desire, it matters not. It calls to you, and it calls to be cast from your palm, so that it might deliver unto you the unknown wonders held within.
How much longer are they going to... excuse me. Are they still not back? Wait there just a moment. I'll fetch them for you. The little chaos gremlins. You have people waiting, you know!
Welcome back, everyone, and congratulations to Lindsay Steely! First time in the chat, first time getting 1,000
I set up dinner.
Saft says, I set up dinner. Thanks, Saft. For me, what'd you make?
I think he got veggie sushi.
Ooh, I don't like regular sushi, but maybe I would like veggie sushi.
Might.
Sushi.
You
Veggie sushi. Hard
you
to
liked
say.
the fruit one that we had that one time.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Mhm.
But as we don't mind that. As we get back to our adventure here with Saft in the pilot seat for Ayla, Renarius piloting Nyx, and Danny piloting Thalindra, you are all out of initiative. The owlbear sort of thumbing around near the stump, kicking at it, and maybe even digging its claw into the roots, hoping that it's not going to leap back into action after just being split and felled. A rusty axe has scattered across the ground, and a pixie now hides within a tree branch nearby. What would you all like to do? Right now, the
I
pixie...
use my divine sense to scan for fiends, celestials, or undead.
Okay, Divine Sense coming back online again for Ayla. As you scan the area for celestials, fiends, and undead, just making sure the area is safe before you attempt to speak to this pixie again, your antlers sort of reverberate, almost detecting the slight fey presence, but they give you no inclination towards any other celestials, fiends, or undead within the range that it normally would cover. So you feel safe in this moment. I will say, make another insight check for me as you use your horns to scan the surroundings. You feel the concentration still being held on your shield of faith that is protecting this pixie up in the tree. You actually see a little bit more of an amber glow coming off of their normally golden sheen as they sort of peek out from behind this thin branch. Exclamation point R insight. I'm not sure if maybe you spelled it wrong.
How did someone roll a 0?
Oh, you don't have to worry about DIS. You're not disadvantaged. That happens whenever somebody doesn't type in a prompt right. It gets confused.
It just rolls 0.
Yeah. Not to worry, guys. That'll get better once the website is up and running.
Saft, if you want, I can roll for you.
Can you?
You don't.
Oh.
You don't use up the
With
thing.
actual dice.
Yeah, with actual dice.
Saft, I'm going to say as Ayla looks out towards this pixie, the glow of your horn sort of matching the shield of faith that is surrounding her, you see her cautious, but maybe leaning towards trusting you all because she is showing herself. She's not exactly hiding, but she is maybe giving herself a bit of cover in case things go south. So that's what you're able to glean with this 13 insight. What are the rest of you doing? Error code D0. Indeed. Hopefully soon it'll just be the push of a button. But we'll have to see. Saft, Renarius, Danny, what do you all want to do with this information, this pixie nearby? Danny, I imagine you have something you may want to do. For those of you who enjoyed that encounter, thank Danny, who inspired some of it, brought in some inspiration from one of their home games, and presented it as a potential happy birthday. I hope you don't mind. I did change a few details here and there to make it work in the campaign. But actually, there's a lot that could happen with this pixie at this moment. You see some of her sort of glittery essence hanging off of her wings as she flitters them every so often nervously. The sparkles sort of drift into the dark underneath the tree that she stands atop.
Hi there, little fey creature. We are 3 sisters on an adventure for the Order of the Jackalope towards Darkwell. How may we be service? I am Ayla, Paladin of the Ancients.
I'm going to tend to the pixie's wound as a way to apologize to this innocent one caught in the confusion.
I go up to the pixie and say I'm Nyx and these are my sisters. We
Okay.
are the K-pop elves to the rescue.
Nice, beautiful, Renarius. I can tell that you were there on character creation night. As the K-pop demon hunter elves move towards the pixie, you see and as Ayla approaches and explains why you're here, she looks back towards the paladin with glowing antlers, realizes she's covered in the same magic, and well, you could have done without hitting me. That was a little rude. And as she brings attention to that, Delindra has already clambered up the tree as a bear. She but Nyx begins to speak, making sure to explain that you three are sisters, and trusting you, she allows the bear to get close. The bear pulls out some bandages and begins wrapping them as the owl bear behind is like, I'm sorry. Sorry I did that.
I use lay on hands for 5 horsepower to the pixie.
5 horsepower to the pixie. As you see the bandages beginning to form up over the more egregious wounds, you use lay on hands to close up many of the smaller scattered wounds that were dealt to her, the bruising, the small cuts that may have been done by the vine and her swinging around inside of it. One of her wings was actually clipped a little bit, and it begins to fold back out into its natural form. She flutters it. Thanks for that. You said you're going to Darkwell? You don't... I mean, you're not nearly covered in mud enough to be from here. Well, maybe. And she points towards the bear that... You're going to Darkwell? That what you want to do, really? Quit horsing around, Matt says. I mean, if you're outsiders, just be careful. This is dangerous, but the folks in town, they don't take kindly to outsiders. I should know. I was an outsider once. Or at least my family was. What do you all say as this pixie begins to get a little bit chatty? The bear maybe continuing to bandage the pixie's wounds. The owl bear in the background continuing to kick apart the stump, which appears to be slowly reamassing, like slowly reconstituting. I would say, Delindra, you and your bear form, having the keen senses that you do and being as close as you are to the pixie.
Yes, we venture to Darkwell, though we have struggled on our way and in need of rest. We are aware of the extreme danger we are in. Perhaps we could afford each other mutual aid.
Any information you could give us would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, well, if you're in need of rest, I mean, you guys look a little tired, I guess. That happens to be something I'm very good at. I'm Bravira. You can find my apothecary shop in Darkwell. Again, if you make it that far, it's called Deep Dreams Apothecary. It's a little service I like to provide to the community, given my, uniqueness. And she sort of flutters her wings as glitter begins to descend. And you begin to put together that she might use her pixie dust to help put people to sleep without the use of Ta'alva. Those nasty people in the street, they like to use that tea stuff. Testosterone or something. It's not good. It's not good for you. And I do what I can, I get sleep just soundly enough. I got a lot of work to do. I got to, of course, perform my duties with the stump, kind of keeping it at bay. But other than that, I find myself with a good amount of time. I gather ingredients. I make little sleepy time brews and sell them to the public. Coin's a little hard to come by, so sometimes I'm pro bono. But there's only so much of this dust to go around.
I go over to the Great Axe and ask if this would help us.
Oh, no, that's got to stay here. Please leave that here. I think it helps to keep the stump from reconstituting too quickly. You can see it's already started. And you see the stump beginning to reamass as the bark cracks together in sort of that weird shudder of something heavy falling into place. You see the split in the stump beginning to slowly climb as it heals over that crack in itself. It's very important that stays right where it's at. I mean, I don't think I could stop you. But,
Wait. That axe and the stump. Gasps, so the myth is true? Who exactly are you?
I told you already, I'm Bravera. I run the apothecary shop, and, well, I do have this one other thing that I have to do. I come out here once a week, roughly, it's hard to tell, to make good on a family tradition. We've been revisiting the stump, keeping it asleep, because we've been told that it once caused a lot of trouble in the area. You can see for yourself exactly how strong it is when I am not able to completely finish my duties. And you can see as the stump sort of reconstitutes, it certainly does appear to be quite strong. And if this was it subdued, you would not want to face one of these at full force, you imagine. I'll say, Nick, since you really haven't done a whole lot, why don't you make a perception check for me? I want to see if you notice something. Exclamation point R, perception. This will be for you, Renarius.
Are we able to help you with your ritual in any way, Bravera?
Oh, well, I mean, you pretty much did it. I resort to keeping the thing asleep and subdued that way, but that'll work too. I'm just not really... I'm not that big. I can do a lot of damage, but it's a little different. You wouldn't get it. Pixie stuff. Matt wants to know what the myth is. Perhaps Danny can fill you in once he's not piloting Thalindra. Or perhaps the myth has changed slightly to fit within the lore of this campaign. Who's to say? Nyx, with your non-natural 20, as you look across the stump and sort of watch as it reconstitutes, the vines within it continue to writhe until the axe is placed back into the crevice at the stump where it once resided. And you can see, while these vines and roots at the center are fresh, now that some of the mud is cleared away from it moving and you guys fighting with it, the roots themselves are very pale. And that strikes you. With a non-natural 20, you find some striking similarities
Before
to your
Katie
root
was
bulb.
called Darkwell once had a plague of the woods, sapping all life not of its.
So you know the story. Yeah, the tree was doing some bad stuff. My family and another guy came along and felled it. He left his axe in there to keep it from growing, but it kept doing its thing. So every once in a while we have to come back here and, keep it from doing bad stuff. It's not that hard to understand, really. I don't know why you guys are so stuck on this.
I don't know if you saw Saf's message. He was rolling disadvantage because of exhaustion.
Oh, exhaustion would not give you disadvantage. It just subtracts 2.
Yeah.
I have been keeping that in mind even when I'm not calling it out. It is lowering your skill checks and attack rolls just a touch.
If you have exhaustion and you roll a nat 20, do you count that as an 18 on the die?
I still count that as a natural 20, but if there is a DC to be beat, I would count it as an 18.
Got it.
So, on an attack roll, I would still allow it to hit.
Yeah.
But on a skill check, it would still be an 18. Sorry, somebody else had mentioned something. I got sidetracked. No, it's not your fault.
It was a little bit my fault.
Anyway, if you guys are all done here, and it looks like I am, thanks for that. I'm gonna head back to my apothecary shop. If you make it into Darkwell, you should drop by. I'll put you guys to sleep on the house. Elves are a little tricky, but I might be able to help you along. It is kind of my livelihood, kind of what everybody's after here, really. But yeah, I hope to see you around. And bye. You see the pixie sort of kick up off the branch, do a quick swirl, almost a salute with her body motion, as she then zips back through the forest, which is good because you might have lost a bit of your direction in the fight. but you can see there's a glittering trail now, sort of leading you towards Darkwell in that direction. You all follow, or do you stay behind and take a look at some of this stuff? What do
Shall
we
we
wanna do?
join you, as it's safer than in numbers since we're all going to Darkwell?
I will say that before you're able to say this, the pixie has zipped along. She might have offered for you to accompany her, but you gather that with her being as aloof as she is as a pixie, she might have left you behind anyway. Hard to know. The owlbear sort of pecking at the bark that is now moving much slower as it continues to reconstitute. You ascertain that indeed this axe is slowing its revival. Perhaps that is why it lives there. Who's to say if something else might not take its place? But that is a risk. You could take it, you could not. What would you all like to do here? Dazima says the owlbear is known as Beakley. Danny, you're in the pilot seat for Thalendra. If anybody who's piloting these characters wants to add a little bit of lore while they're in there, I'll generally accept it. So you will get the say if you want to name the owlbear Beakley. I was thinking last session that they probably need a name. What are we thinking, everybody? Ayla, Nyx, Thalendra. Nyx in particular, I do remember we were talking about, you saw that the roots at the base of this tree stump are actually quite pale. You begin to realize that the bark of the tree stump is brown because it's so mud covered. But it is quite similar in tone, actually, to the root bulb that you wear. Not sure if you want to do anything with that information, but it is something that strikes at you. Could be a coincidence, but rarely do those things manifest in such situations.
I pray to the warrior's spirit and thank his spirit for saving all in his honor.
Okay. Thalendra, you say a quick bear prayer and place a head towards the ground, maybe even marring your forehead a bit with some of the mud slick terrain around you. You know what? I'm gonna say make a religion check here. So exclamation point R religion. As you say a prayer to the warrior that once resided here.
Pyraxis.
Yeah, the pixie was a little skimpy on the details, but certainly sounds like something epic happened here once upon a time. Whoa! There's your nat 20.
Oh.
So it is nat 20 minus 2, so 18, but still really good.
I manifested that.
As you lift your head from your giving thanks, your prayer, you see the axe out of the corner of your eye sort of shift a bit, and when you raise your eyes, like sort of raising your head from the ground, you catch a glance of this male orc, deep green skin, burly, muscular, sort of lifting the axe with one hand out of the stump. It is a great axe, so it normally would take two, as he swings it aloft overhead and plunges it back into the tree, sinking it even a little bit deeper, clapping his hands together and nodding at you before his spirit fades away before your eyes. You feel as though you may have just caught the glimpse of the warrior that once felled this mighty corrupted tree. You know, if we took the boat, we would have avoided all this. That's maybe so, Matt. Who's to say, really? I won't reveal what would have happened if you took the boat.
Probably the same thing.
Probably not. Who's to say, really? I will say that there were two diverting paths there on what could have happened. I don't know which would have been better. They had some positive, some negative, but you guys handled this pathway pretty well, considering how healthy everyone looks and the fact that only 2 of you have 1 level of exhaustion. With all that information, is there anything else you guys would like to do here, or are we pressing on? I'll wait, and if I hear from any of you that you're moving on, we will continue. If we took the boat, we would have met Zealous's big brother. Man, Russell, I love that you even spelled Zealous right. So many people get that wrong. That's how I know you're a true fan of the channel, man. Thank you for being here for all of it. Thank you for being here for the first Chat Plays D&D campaign. The one before this, Depths of Nerethus. Russell was key amongst the players there. If you would like to watch those episodes, they are here on the channel. You can see how all this unfolded, how we got our start.
We wouldn't misspell it if you spelled it normally.
Well, I wouldn't want to spell it like normal zealous. Like,
I know.
Yeah, overzealous.
In my mind, though, ZH is the normal spelling. I'm just messing with you.
In some circles, it is known as Zealous. What are we thinking? I'll give you guys just a little bit more time before I move on. Renarius, I'm not sure if you're oh, I see you did offer to move with the pixie there. I hadn't heard from you in a little while, but I think with all this done, you continue to trudge through Darkwell, through the woods to Darkwell, rather. And as luck would have it, it doesn't take you much longer before you begin to see within the fog of the trees the silhouettes of old broken structures.
Let's get to Darkwell so we can spread some chaos.
Absolutely, Nix. Couldn't agree more. And as you sort of lead the way, understanding exactly how close you are to the village proper, you see the silhouettes of old, dilapidated, broken structures, not only dwellings, but old platforms, not dissimilar to what is in Regette, where many of you grew up, where you are familiar. There are large stone platforms that are half crumbled away, tiered somewhat like the pyramids in Torvosa, but not nearly as tall and not nearly as safe to climb upon. There are long alleyways that wind between these structures, leading to various dilapidated market stalls and crumbling buildings. This certainly appears to be some sort of settlement, but you're not 100% sure you're in Darkwell. I imagine even Nix, having not been in Darkwell for so long, things might have looked a little bit more grand to you when you were younger and shorter. Maybe you built this up in your mind after not being here for so long. I will say, Nix, because you're probably leading the party here, make one more perception check for me. I want to see what you notice. And I don't like to rely on passive checks, as some of you may already know.
I know that.
I am elated to say we have had our place in this legend once told, and mayhaps have gained a real friend in Dionysus. One knot of cages.
Absolutely. One knot of cages indeed, as you saw fit to free them. Ooh. I'll say, Nix, with a 6, you're a bit distracted. You saw those pale roots in that tree stump. You saw how similar they were to the bulb. Something feels a little off to you. You're back in this place that you once fled, carrying something that you fled because of, and the weight of that begins to settle on you. As you sort of glance across looking for any signs of movement, occasionally there is a bit of a breeze coming off of the waterfront to the south of you. It kicks up what little dead foliage there is that sort of rustles and catches your attention. And you almost miss a patrol of patchy-haired creatures that are stalking around the edges of the streets as they sort of laugh amongst themselves.
You just scared Fritz.
With your 6, you can't hear what they're saying, and even if you could, you're not sure if you could make sense of it, because it is quite boisterous and rambunctious. But with just a little bit of time, they round the corner and press further into the city proper. Or rather, whatever this is. What would you all like to do? Standing on the edge of what you feel may be Darkwell, but are hesitant to call a settlement. Rough, Matt Steely says. Yeah, sorry, Renaria. Sometimes the dice are not kind, and a 6 with exhaustion to a 4, that's just not going to get you a whole lot. You did at least spy the patrol of hairy creatures. It'd be hard not to miss them with them being so loud. It would be hard to miss them.
Yeah.
There it is. The double
Hard
negative
to not
almost got
see
me.
them, hard to miss them.
I suggest we be cautious while in Darkwell, Zazima says. Russell, Renarius, Danny, what do you think? What would you like to do? Are we running in guns blazing? Are we trying to blend in? Are we trying to stealth and not be seen at all?
John Washburn's logging off.
Night.
He said this is too much.
See you, John. Thanks for joining us, man. Always good to have you here in the chat. Adios, amigo. What do we think, guys?
Someone said, Matt Steely, got to find some kind of establishment for food and sleep.
Sighs, damn it, Bravera. Shoulda led us to safety. Really wanted to see the Fey village of Teeders.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she has instead perhaps led you into danger. She did at least tell you where you could find her at her apothecary shop that she now runs within the town of Darkwell. But she has left you just on the outskirts, pondering exactly what the right approach is here to move in. I'll give you guys just a little bit more of a chance to respond here and let me know what you would like to do. You can also talk amongst yourselves and try and plot it out. But if I don't hear from you guys, I might have to start switching people out of character slots to see if we can get some motion going.
Time to find a place to sleep and get a drink.
Okay. So, Nix, I take it that means you
Can
guys
I
are...
possibly spot anything that might look like Bravera's store from here?
Russell, I'm going to have you make a perception check. I know Nix already made one, but kind of seeing her distracted and distraught, good friend as you are, you know how she is whenever she's not all there, and she hasn't had her liquid courage in quite some time. So you make that perception check for her just to double check some of her work. Okay, at 12. Luckily, you are not exhausted. And so as you look out ahead, you can see that patrol is no longer within earshot, and it's made its way quite far down the road. You can see nearby a wooden sign hanging from a stone structure.
Can I do the same as well?
Lindra, I will allow you one more perception check. Keep in mind that you are exhausted. I'll let everybody kind of group up and make this one. So you'll have to get pretty high to outdo Ayla here. Exclamation point R perception. But as she rolls that, Ayla, you at least see a wooden sign sort of hanging from a stone structure that bleeds into this large wooden add-on that almost truncates and then splits out like an antler, oddly enough. The sign itself hangs from only one chain, so it's vertical, but it reads normally horizontal, and you can see it says the Sunken Stag. Saft says, I have eaten. Thalindra, unfortunately, left crumbs. With an 8 down to a 6 due to the exhaustion, you are just as weary-eyed as your friend Ayla and not sure what to make sense of any of this as the owlbear squawks behind you. You see, you all are pressing a little bit closer to the city as the owlbear seems to be calling out to ask if it should follow. Looking to you specifically, Thalindra. But yeah, Ayla, with that 12, you can see the Sunken Stag. You can see that the patrol of these patchy-haired creatures has moved on. But you can't see much beyond that. You can see there are a lot more more of the city and stalls ahead. But yeah, a 12 isn't going to get you much more than that. Nice owlbear screech. Thanks. I can only do it a few times a night. It will wear out my voice pretty quick. What do you think, Danny? Do we bring the owlbear or do we tell them to stay hidden? How do you think an owlbear might be received in the streets of Darkwell? You've not been here before. You have met some poachers. You have done that. Matt says to keep it. Bodyguard. Makes a sound argument. What do you think? Danny, that's you, man. What do you think you should do?
Stay within our shadows, my companion.
Okay, so the owlbear has been instructed to be stealthy. As stealthy as an owlbear can be out in the open within a city. I'm going to say, due to its large nature and the fact that it's used to being in the wild.
Shady neighborhood.
Shady neighborhood. I'm going to give it disadvantage on the stealth check. Okay. Are you all pressing into the city as the owlbear sort of hunkers down low and sits behind you all? What little light falls from the sky, it does try and hide within your shadows as instructed. Matt now in as Thalindra. If I hear from anyone that we're going into the city, we're doing it. What exactly would we like to do? You can see that there is what appears to be some sort of establishment ahead. A large wooden, or rather stone structure that bleeds into ramshackle wood that ascends almost in a truncated fashion before splitting off into what looks like a branch or an antler. Danny, thank you for the 50
after
bucks!
Taking on all odds with her sister says enter the city.
Danny, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here, and happy birthday. You were giving away all your birthday money. Stop. Thank you, man. That's so kind of you, really. Thalindra's confident after taking on all odds with her sisters and says enter the city. So Thalindra, you lead the way. All of you, the three of you, you're mud slick, and as you press through the threshold, there is a part of you, even though you feel uneasy, you feel as though you might pass for someone that belongs here. Your owlbear skulks closely behind, and as you break the threshold between two large plinths of stone, you follow a cobblestone pathway that is ridden with cracks and puddles and small brown shrubs that you could barely imagine are alive. The owlbear sort of clambers behind you loudly, trying to stay low to the ground and out of sight, but doing a bad job of not being heard. As you push forward, you see ramshackle homes of stone and warped timber leaning against one another for support. Their windows are shuttered tight, even in the grim daylight. Sickly lanterns sputter along the narrow streets, casting red-tinged shadows across crooked alleyways. Strips of torn fabric flap from lines overhead, and everywhere you look, the air ripples with this sort of strange smearing haze. People move through the settlement with hollow eyes and hurried steps, some of them occasionally catching sight of your owlbear before clutching their possessions closely to their chest and nearing one of the stone walls, shaking their head almost as if they might be seeing some sort of distortion. Many of the people here, with no insight or no perception check, you can tell are very tired. There are deep purple bags under everyone's eyes. What would you all like to do? You see out ahead of you, there is or nearby to you, there is the sunken stag that you saw earlier. But now, as the road continues to stretch onward, you see many of these rundown stalls. There are people manning them, and it appears to be a market, but a rather sullen and sodden affair as people walk up to the various merchants and pass coin almost as if they don't want anyone to see before being given whatever substances are being peddled here and shambling back into the holes they crawled out of. How the hell is that crystal not cracked? Damn it. I mean, it is glowing pretty good. You guys got it at least to the second stage.
Not on the third one yet. See if I can get it to the third one.
So Russell, Renarius, and Matt, what are we thinking as you press on? You see the sunken stag and you see this market ahead of you. There are people walking the streets noticing the owlbear who clearly did not roll well on their stealth check. And you still have no sign of the Deep Dreams apothecary.
I'll keep.
You'll keep? All you keep everything. It's yours. You keep.
An eye out for a drink.
Keeping an eye out for a drink. Okay. I'm going to say...
And now Danny Leo is keeping their eye out for a drink.
Danny now manning Nyx. As you keep an eye out for a drink, rather than a perception check, which you didn't do so hot with...
I'd say we start with the stag unless Therese a better idea.
Okay. You're kind of looking out to see if you can find any drinks in this marketplace as Thalindra pulls you by the arm towards the sunken stag. You can see that the door is actually closed. It is latched, but because it almost hangs between the latch itself and the bottom hinge, it is sort of leaning in, and you can see a little bit of lantern light coming out from the top of the door jamb. Not a very well-guarded establishment, but it is one. Are you all pressing in? Sounds like that is what Thalindra wants to do, so if we get another vote in that direction, that's what we'll do as well. Nyx, I imagine, seeing what looks to be some sort of tavern, they might have drink in there. What would you like to do? And anybody else that might want to pilot characters here, as some of these uses drain down to 0, it automatically switches over. So all you need to do is type !roleplay in the chat to join in the running, and then just stay active in chat. It'll only pick people who have been active in the last 5 minutes. So we don't pull somebody in that's maybe dropped off the channel or has gone to sleep. Probably both. Interesting, Zazima says. Interesting. Very interesting. It's all very interesting. The crowd of elven women walking into town with an owlbear. The pixie you met in the forest.
I could use detect magic if that would help ease any worries.
Thalindra offers to use her detect magic to make sure the way ahead is safe. But I would imagine, since we haven't heard from Nyx, since we haven't heard from Danny, they're just sort of like in a stupor in the second they see that this may be a tavern of some kind. They allow you to pull them along in. And so you press towards the tavern, pushing open the door. I'm going to say, make a sleight of hand check, Thalindra. I want to see how well you can open this door without it falling off its hinges. It is only attached by one more. So !R sleight of hand. And if you want to make a shortcut out of it, you can just type !R sleight. Because our system actually just truncates the first word off of it anyway.
Nice.
Yeah. You do the same thing with animal handling.
Animal.
Our path, I fear, has come to be vastly more complex. For this wasn't here before.
Yeah. Nyx, you are all turned around. I imagine as a youth, when you were here thieving for the hidden hand, you spent probably a lot of your time in the market that was up ahead, but those stalls have since crumbled away and been replaced with new dilapidated structures. This sunken stag may not have been a place that you were around much, if it did so exist at that time. But Thalindra, with your 14 down to a 12, you open the door, and you're being very careful, but the wood actually begins to fray around the rusted knob, and you feel as though the wood itself is so rotted, you may actually just lose the door entirely. At the last second, as you stumble in, you do that sort of awkward half step, like almost crabbing into the room, holding the door from the back with your other hand, and making sure that it doesn't tumble over. In doing so, a couple patrons do look up and eye you for a moment before glancing back down towards their sour swill. As you allow the door to rest for a moment, all your allies come in behind. The owl bear begins to shamble in as well. You half expect the barkeep to speak up and tell the owl bear to stay outside, but they hardly pay any mind to it. The inn itself is thick with stale smoke. It's lit only by a few guttering lanterns, and the floorboards sag underfoot as if they're remembering old burdens. You can see they're just curved permanently. Weary patrons hunch over chipped mugs, speaking in low whispers and staring hollow-eyed into nothing. Behind the counter, you see a barkeep who probably at once had a quite well embellished mustache. You can see that he does have a scar that runs from his temple down the side of his cheek. And instead of a nice twirled mustache, it is still quite thick, but it's frayed at the ends. A human man who's somewhat balding on his head as well. He's got a circle of sort of gray or black peppered hair with like streaks of gray and white in it. And as he turns to you, you can see he's got bags under his eyes, but he's a little bit better rested than everyone else. He doesn't greet you. He doesn't welcome you. He does eye the owl bear with a small amount of suspicion. Think you can keep that thing behaved?
Hello, gorgeous.
I don't know if you, Yeah, sure. I'll take it. Sure. What do you want? I don't suppose you're here to sell that thing. I'm not buying. I'm not the guy you're looking for, if that's the case.
Philindra approaches the bar. We can take care of the owlbear, we just need some drinks and a rest.
Well, rest, you say? You're looking for that?
Don't
maybe.
worry. I'll make sure Nyx stays on her best behavior, Ayla says with a smirk.
You call that thing Nyx? Weird name for such a big creature.
He looks down to the owl bear still, does not realize that Nyx is the drow that is traveling with you.
But, you're looking for rest? Sorry, that's gonna be in short supply.
He kind of expects the rest of the tavern to rise in laughter with him, but they don't. It's just him.
Tough crowd tonight. Respin's tough going lately,
Hey,
especially.
I only bite if asked nicely.
Well, you best be careful what you bite around here, miss. As, chances are I might just bite back. Where'd you say you was from, all you? I don't think I've seen your faces here before. From out of town, maybe? Certainly a quiet lot.
Not big talkers.
See, the owl bear sort of continues to try and hide in your shadow for a bit.
It's
but
not
once...
a matter of where we're from, but where we're going.
And where's that? Where you headed? What brings you here?
Name of town to south. That's what Saf said.
Like I said.
Darkwell.
Well, you found it. Welcome to Darkwell, outsiders. Ugh.
the very least, you could buy a drink. Feel free to buy a room if you want, but I doubt any of your ilk is going to find well rest here. Look at you, bright-eyed and still got the look of rest on you. I can tell you haven't been here long. That'll change. That'll change quick. Yeah, like I said, you're here to sell that thing. You're in the wrong place. So long as it doesn't cause any damage to me and mine, it can be here. That's fine. We're used to the occasional odd pet.
Is he talking about the owl bear?
He is. Although, the Lindra, are you still wild-shaped? I didn't really ask. I think if you are, it probably still makes sense. He's eyeing two wild animals you're carrying in. What do you all say back to this innkeeper? He's sort of offered you a room, but not told you the price for anything, and he did mention that sleep is hard to come by. That much you know already. Russell, Danny, Matt, what would you guys like to do? And Matt, let me know if the Lindra's still wild-shaped. I'm curious now. A Kalishtar would have been a really good player character in this space. Actually, yeah, like I could definitely see like an almost haunted Kalishtar in the new Forge of the Artificer book. Do they have a new
Last I
Kalishtar in there?
recall, I was still a bear up the tree.
Okay. Well then, Thalindra, you are still a bear as he sort of eyes both of you. He's like, you know, you find a buyer for these two, you might get yourself enough gold to pay for rooms for several nights.
We could start with some directions, if you don't mind. Perhaps to some of the stores, especially an apothecary or general gear.
He begins to kind of chuckle, and as you mentioned the apothecary, make an insight check for me. I'm going to have you make insight and persuasion here. I'm going to have you make insight first. So, Ayla, make an insight check for me as the barkeep reacts to your question and specifically hangs on a word that you said. Yeah, as you mention the apothecary, you see his sort of laid back look turn sour. His back sort of hunches over and his brow furrows as he gets a little bit of a confused look and then relaxes after almost realizing that you couldn't possibly know about the apothecary in town. You must just be asking about one because you're traveling through and maybe need medicines. Now I'm going to have you roll that persuasion check. See how loose-lipped this individual will be. $13. Luckily, you're not exhausted. So that is a static 13. I'm going to say,
Can Thalindra intimidate for advantage?
she can try. Thalindra, roll an intimidation check for me. As you see the barkeep begin to kind of smirk, almost sitting back and realizing that he holds all the information that you need as outsiders. He doesn't answer immediately, almost as if he is toying with the idea of playing a little game with you. Oh, Renarius now in as Thalindra. Roll an intimidation check for me. Exclamation point R, intimidation. And welcome in, Lance Parrish. If I was doing any of these rolls, they'd be ones, he says. You never really know. Our system is different from normal dice. It does still roll at random, but sometimes you get good numbers. I don't know.
It's not rigged like the freaking Discord.
Oh, don't start. With a 15, because you're exhausted down to 13, you begin to curl your lip up. Hey, I told you to make that thing behave. Or will I have to do it? And he places a hand against a large crossbow on the wall. Already bolted, already ready to fire. He just needs to pull a hand down. He raises an eyebrow at you. And Thalindra, I'll let you tell me if you're backing down or if you're continuing to growl at him. Thanks for stopping by and checking it out. It is a lot of fun, especially all the way through piloting these characters. Chat came up with the backstories and everything. And this is quite the story, I have to say. Matt says, call his bluff. Don't back down. It's up to you, Renarius. It is up to you. You may, in fact, start a combat right here and now, but that's up to you. He certainly looks confident.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, Danny's doubling down with the intimidation.
We need info, not a crossbow.
Okay.
Oh my god, I love that this is Matt and Lindsay's Monday night date night.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't sure if Lindsay got in on one of the characters there. That would have been really cool to have both of y'all in at the same time. You could be conspiring from another room.
This is also our date night.
Yeah, this is our date night too. It's like kind of like a couple's date here.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, guys. As the hand goes up to the crossbow, Nyx pulls a dagger and places it on into the counter. With a 19 intimidation, you just eye the barkeep as if letting them know that if he tries to fight that bear, he's going to have more than just the bear to fight. Barkeep kind of reassesses his options before looking back towards you and shrugging. What was it that somebody said? We need info, not a crossbow. Well, usually when people want info, they ask nicely. So, do I hear please? As he looks to you, Nyx, in particular, hoping to call your intimidation bluff and maybe sap away some of the pride that you seem to hold. What'll it be?
Listen here, ya damn dung eater. We have had enough crap. You will tell us or you'll not like this unalluring side of me, so God's help me.
Okay.
Where is that coming from?
Nyx?
Oh, it doesn't show on my screen, lol.
Nyx, I'm going to have you re-roll your intimidation check because on his insight, he got a 17, and with your exhaustion, so did you. I was allowing that tie to kind of be a reset now, but let's see if you can beat him with a subsequent check. You see him hesitate before taking a hand off the crossbow on the wall, considering lighting this powder keg. A 14 dropped to a 12 just so happens to beat an 11. As he eyes you, pulls his hand down from the crossbow. So, what do you want to know then? You haven't exactly asked any questions. Looking for an apothecary? Yeah, there's one in town. Further down the road, past the markets. Ditzy little pixie woman runs it. You're looking for sleep? Maybe she can help you there. If you'd like a room, I can help you here. Anything else you want to know? Usually this information doesn't come free. I'll say that now. Saf, thanks for the $5. He says new Kalishtar in Forge of the Artificer is an aberration type. Advantage on wisdom and charisma saves, retain mind link and psychic resistance. That's really freaking good. The power creep continues, I suppose. You guys have any other questions for this barkeep? As he's explained, the apothecary's further down the road past the markets, that they may be able to help you sleep.
I will tell you, if you're short on coin and you can't pay for any of this information, you certainly can't pay her prices. Just about triple the price of Osa to Alva. Damn waste if you ask me. One hit of that and you're out. That you can buy on the cheap from the street vendors. Though you may want to go a little easy on your first trip.
On cue, as he says that, there's another patron, a half-orc, who's like been slumped, leaning against an arm on a table, but the arm folds out from him as his head slams under the table. The table falls over. He collapses onto the ground.
I'm sure we can pay her prices. Tell us what's the word on the street.
His butt is sticking into the air, and he is still sound asleep.
See what I mean? Well, word on the street is that you have to pay for that kind of information. You know, with coin.
Thank you. But work on your services. Handsome?
You're welcome. Beautiful. I'm not loose-lipped, you see. I know what happens to people who talk too much in Darkwell, and you seem like the talking type.
Snitches get stitches.
Maybe it becomes a situation where if you don't pay me enough, I go talking to some other people about what kind of
Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
In the future, Danny, if you don't want it to read out your emojis, you can put an exclamation point in front of something you don't want read on screen.
Sometimes I think he does, though.
Sometimes he does, and that's fine. I am fine with that. But just in case anyone in chat doesn't know that trick.
The barkeep turns towards towards Nyx and says,
"What the fuck's an emoji?"
Ah, shit.
Out-of-towners. You out-of-towners. Just completely disillusioned with the way the world is. Can't be helped, I suppose. But yeah, the apothecary's down the street. If you want to go chat her up, I'm sure she'll talk to you for free. The sleeping's gonna cost you, and the word on the street is as well. If you're done wasting my time, I got things to do. And I think you got places to be that aren't here. So get out. Unless you got coin in your hand. I only want to see that hand on the doorknob. And don't knock it over either. I worked hard to keep it upright.
what do you all do? You've managed to avoid a tense confrontation with this barkeep, but you haven't gotten much more information out of him. You might be able to pay a little bit of gold, but you're not so sure how much. At this point, it feels like if you push any further, he may just tell somebody that you all were snooping around.
Who?
From out of town.
Sure, the Red Claw
As
would
I
like to
leave
know.
to go to the apothecary, I slam the door to floor.
Okay. As you leave the
Drags
establishment...
my sisters to find our runaway pixie. The stench here was pissing off Nyx too much.
Fair enough. That familiar smell of rotten wood and old mud caked in every crevice. You leave the establishment much in the way you found it, giving an extra little shove against the door.
I would have used Druidcraft on the door to lock them in, lol.
Okay. So, Nyx, I am going to have you roll a, we'll say Arcana check, as Thalindra rolls an athletics check. And whoever rolls higher will win here.
As
Either
I
that
round
door
the corner,
stays up or
I
it
use
thunders to the ground.
Druidcraft to create the sound of breaking glass inside the bar.
Nice. So, here comes Nyx's roll. 18 on Arcana, drop to 16. Thalindra, I will have you make an athletics check. This will be as a bear, so I'll factor that in. Ooh, even as a bear, you might struggle here. Against Thalindra's against Nyx's 16. That is not quite going to do it. As you go to throw the door on the ground, it nearly touches the floor as the barkeep... And Nyx, almost like sort of with a nod, gestures with a bit of red magic flaring out from that root bulb tucked underneath your leathers, gathering and coalescing some pale vines around that bottom hinge of the door and reinforcing it as the door does still hang open. Ayla, you create the sound of glass as the door doesn't hit the ground, and all of you turn to see the barkeep. Wait, did I drop something? What the hell? Did any of you? As you continue down the street, he's a little confused and not, luckily, paying attention to exactly the magic that Nyx casted to reinforce the door thanks to Ayla's Druidcraft. From here, you continue forward through this sundered alley. It stretches out and away from you, a narrow gap of shattered walls and leaning shacks coated in a film of wet ash. Doors hang crooked on broken hinges, windows gape open. It almost feels like this place didn't want to be found. And yet there are vendors sitting at the edge of their stalls, kind of eyeing you as you pass, wondering if you might be looking for some sort of illicit substance, good, or creature. You see some creatures in cages. You see some odd glowing mixtures of bright red powder. You see husks of beetles hanging on tied strings that sway to and fro in the breeze that isn't there. But eventually, you push past, and just around the corner, you find a small storefront hunched between two leaning stone buildings. It has a crooked sign that's swaying gently on rusted hooks. Deep Dream Apothecary. The exterior walls are stained in a soiled lavender, and clusters of glass bottles dangle from string along the awning, chiming in the breeze like fragile wind bells. But Siri's talking to us. Sorry.
Living room. What's happening?
Something feels a little off about this, and you're not sure what. What would you all like to do? You've definitely reached the apothecary now, but something feels a little off. Even in this place where everything else is so shoddy, you would imagine a building where
I'd
a
like to
pixie
assess
lives to
the
be.
area.
Okay. Thalindra, I'll have you make a perception check for me. I'll let you pick.
I would
perception
like to
or
use an
investigation.
Arcana check to see what's wrong.
Okay. Then in that case, Nyx, you roll that Arcana check right after Thalindra rolls. I imagine she'll pick perception. She's better at that. Okay. With an 11, Thalindra, you glance around and you would expect the home of a pixie to be somewhat lively or colorful. And you've never been to this place, and you've heard it's dreary, but Ravera seemed pretty lively when you met her. You wouldn't imagine this place to be so dull and decrepit and run down, much in the same way as the Sunken Stag. You can see that the door is ajar. That strikes you as odd, but nothing else really seems out of place. Maybe it's just the way that this place is. So, I'll have Zazima roll that Arcana check for me now. See if you can pick up on any sort of magical corruption in the air. Okay. With a 9, having gathered magic from that root bulb before, everything around you, that purple haze that seems to be smearing everything, that seems to be dizzying everyone in the streets into a exhausted stupor. It all seems too consistent, too familiar to you to pick up on anything strange within it. That pixie was a bright light in this world of darkness. So it does strike you as odd as this building being run down, but maybe it's just the effect of this place and you've been away for that long. You certainly don't remember it being this glum, though. Certainly taken a turn for the worse, but maybe those are just the rose-colored glasses of youth.
There's more than meets the eye in this place.
Certainly there is. You hear the owlbear squawk in agreement, almost parrot-like from over your shoulder. What do you all do? Do you press in to the Deep Dream Apothecary, or you do a little more analysis? It's up to you. The longer you stand here, you do feel eyes
I would
beginning to
creepily
press in
peer
on you.
into the apothecary door as Jason Voorhees silently.
So Nix, as you peer in through the door, I'm going to have you make an investigation check rather than perception. You are looking
Here
at
goes
something
nothing as I
specific.
enter.
Okay. You could hear Thalindra sort of thundering up. Sorry, was that Renarius? Yeah. Thalindra thundering up behind you in her bear form, owlbear following close behind, echoing her footsteps. You know, you'll only have a brief moment to investigate the interior of the shop before being forced in by those two hulking bodies. Okay. With a 14, you look inside and you expect some small amount of light from lanterns or candles, but instead you find none. And it takes a moment for your eyes to adjust as the light filters in from some holes in the roof. You can see it skips across the smattering of glass. At first you imagine that glimmer to be either a sparkle from the fairy's dust or perhaps more glass bottles like the ones hanging outside, but in only a moment you come to understand that these are broken glass bottles. Not all over the floor, but cluttered around near shelves that seem to have been broken or dilapidated. There are odd mixtures of finely ground powder along with spilled liquid that ekes out across the floor, soaking into the already damp floorboards. Some of it mixing and then causing white plumes of smoke to sort of puff out every so often. Across the way, all the way towards the back of this storefront, you do see there is another wooden door completely ajar, thrown open. And from that area, you can see something shining and shimmering and shaking, similar to the glass bottles outside, but all across the ceiling of the room. Something bad happened here. And recently. As Thalindra and her owlbear, Beakley, press up behind you, pushing you and Ayla into the room. You all stumble in, hearing the wood sort of creak underfoot. If there is something here, it likely knows that you are here now as well. Standing in this ruin, you see no sign of your pixie friend. What do you all do?
I would ask Ayla to come in the store with me, though.
Danny! Another $20! Chaos, 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 he says. Ayla does come into the store with you. All four of you, including the owlbear, are in the store now. Absolutely. Ayla follows in, ducking as her antlers have to reach under the rather shallow threshold of the door. The owlbear maybe shimmying through its slender opening. It's the butt. I imagine Beakley has a pretty plump little tuchus.
Well, hello. Anyone home?
As you call out, DC's really low. Make a persuasion check for me. I'm gonna say, just so you know, the DC's a 5. Just a 5. You are exhausted, but I want to see if you can convince anything in here to reveal itself to you. If there is anything here. Whoa, Danny just instantly dropped all that chaos right back into the system.
You really want chaos tonight.
I used Druidcraft to relight some of the candles.
Okay, a few of the candles that have toppled over begin to sputter, but thinking better of it, you focus only on the ones that remain upright, of which there are only a few, and as they cast odd mirrored shadows across the walls, sort of lighting up some of these substances and bottles that are scattered across the floor, you can see into that room a little bit better, and you do see a number of empty glass bottles and vials sort of clinking together up at the top of the room. There also appears to be some sort of platform in the center of it. Ooh, with a 7, normally that would not be enough, but as you well know, the DC was only a 5. There is a hesitation before you hear, "Back here!" What do you all do? You hear a small voice calling from that back room.
I rush back to the voice.
Okay, as you turn the corner...
Valindra runs back.
Yeah, all of you rushing through. I'll say that Ayla actually gets there first. Rounding the corner, you look upon this room. If you've ever been to like a private massage or something like that, it is like just a relatively flat, uncomfortable cot, more or less, and a number of glass bottles hanging overhead. There are a few candles in the room that are now lit as Ayla enters. They sit atop a number of smoothed river stones that are arranged in clusters that seem to be somewhat appealing. And there is even a small spigot that seems to be sputtering water into a glass bowl that empties out into the floor and maybe a gutter somewhere unseen. It almost sounds like a tranquil stream. But what you don't hear is that voice. You don't hear the voice again. You don't see where it could have come from. What would you all like to do in this room?
Ayla, go see her and I'll search the shop to see what's missing.
Okay, Ayla's in the room. So Nyx, you begin looking through the shop to see if anything is missing. You've already made investigation. You rolled pretty well. Rolled decent on it. Make an insight check. Because I want to see what you can glean. Not only what might be missing, but what that could mean. A 5 minus 2 is going to be a 3. And so as you look across, I mean, you've never been in here. You don't know how well stocked this pixie keeps her shop. And what there is broken. There's not very much left that isn't. It's hard to know what could be missing. What are Ayla and Thalindra doing in this back room? You're sure you heard the voice come from here, but you don't see anything that could have produced it in here. Russell says it sounds like someone came in and smashed up the shop. It's possible.
We'll search for where the voice came from.
Okay. Ayla, I'm going to have you make an investigation check, specifically within this room. As you sort of look around for where that voice could have come from, you know that the pixie owns
Can
this
I
shop.
cast dancing lights cantrip to fill the store?
Oh, you absolutely can. As you cast out your hand, your dancing lights begin to bob up and down. I imagine they contain a little bit more of that reddish glow. They're almost like candlelight, but they trend more towards the violet hues. And mixing with that amber candlelight, it creates this sort of like
I would like to use
fiery...
the detect magic from before now.
Okay. With the detect magic, as you begin to look around the chamber, Ayla, I'll say you're even aided by this, as Thalindra in her bear form is sort of sniffing out any magics that could be present in this room. And it takes a moment for you to lock on to it, Thalindra, but there is a faint scent of invisibility coming from one of the bottles near the back corner of the room. And as you sort of nose towards it, Ayla, your attention is drawn towards it. You're tall enough in this moment to reach up and grasp it if need be. Is that what you would like to do, or would you like to be a little more cautious? Maybe you take out your maul and break the bottle.
Thalindra approaches with a Tim Allen groan and grabs it.
I'll gently grab the bottle.
Okay. Both of you sort of reach up and have that moment in like a meet cute like rom-com where they like touch hands. Oh, sorry. But no, each of you sort of reaches up. I'll say Ayla's the one that grabs the bottle as you unlatch it from the very small string that ties it to the ceiling and begin to pull it down. You feel it's warm. And as you look at it, you see almost a shimmer outlining a humanoid shape as your pixie friend sort of looks up, her glittered form beginning to peel away as you now see her not hurt, not any more hurt than you last left her, but crying. Welcome to the shop. As you can hear her voice sort of echoed through the flute of the bottle. She pushes her head out and then weasels out of it as she, with a...
Tell us what happened and we can help.
I wasn't here. When I got back, I got scared. So I hid.
Rivera, what happened here?
Sorry, it's not any your concern. You're outsiders after all, but, well, if you want to get tangled up in my mess... No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Not like you could do anything anyway. You just hurt yourself. I did promise you a dream after all.
We insist.
I'm gonna say Matt, as Thalindra, and...
We're the K-pop elves and we're here to help.
We're already worried, so you might as well fill us in.
You know what? You guys are all very convincing. No persuasion check. You see as there are tears sort of welling up in Revera's eyes. It's a group called the Red Claw. And they started up really after Thrallin was dethroned in Torvosa. It seemed like you were coming from that way, so you probably know a little bit about it. I don't know why exactly they came here, but I think they might have been upset that I was helping people sleep. The Ta'alva trade is really lucrative around here, and sometimes I offer my services for free. And people that look like they can't pay and maybe a little too weary-eyed. They're good people. I know they are. Even some of the people in the Red Claw. I've met some of them. That's definitely who did this. And as you all begin to look around at the broken bottles, the crushed shelves, you do occasionally see claw marks in the wall. They're a bad bunch. Really, I don't think you guys can handle them. I saw what you're capable of. I saw what you could do. That stump is nothing compared to them. This town is theirs. I mean, really. A lot of the people I know kind of given up, just decided to...
Red Claw? What are they planning on doing?
Oh, I don't know what they're planning. They've certainly amassed quite a force in town. And the force grows every day. Word on the street is that that's where some of the outsiders go. I don't know why they would join up ranks with Thrallin's men, but they do. On the other hand, I do know why some of the sleep-addled people in this place might join their ranks. They
Are they the ones with the bounty on our head?
Bounty? Yeah, they've been offering bounties on large animals for a while. They only recently started asking for people. So said, if you're from here, if you're local, if you're a regular, you're safe. But like I said, I've seen some of my people join their ranks willingly, and I think it's because they're hooked on that stuff. They want more of it. Just trying to do good here. Well, time to pick up, I suppose. Now she rounds the corner. Oh no, that can't! And then poof, there's a big puff of colorful smoke that erupts from two piles of ground powder colliding as in sort of an incendiary reaction. They both disintegrate as she... Oh, that was expensive and hard to find. Oh, okay. All right. She begins unwinding some of the bottles, being very choosy about the ones that are being taken down from that back room as she begins to gather up some of the substances in that front area. What are the rest of you doing as she does this? So Renarius, Russell, Matt, what are you doing as your friend is sort of picking up her shop? She's given you some information, but there's perhaps more to go on here. I did tell you, Danny, that this pixie might be used in a more integral way than you anticipated, and in a slightly different way.
I
Danny
look
says,
to my sisters. Where to next? There's a lot to take in.
Would you like us to stay here to help?
We should help her clean up. Maybe we can even get more answers as we work.
okay. All of you begin to pick up around as you see Breviera is thankful. She doesn't say it so much in words as she flutters around frantically trying to pick up as much as she can before another chemical reaction occurs.
Cylindra searches for a broom.
You find one quite easily, tucked in behind the main checkout counter that is somewhat marred with claw marks, but still in one piece. You begin sweeping up some of the dust as Brevera is very careful. Oh, don't sweep that. That's gonna. Oh, well, that turns into a fine powder. Don't breathe it. Don't. Oh, well, you already did. As you're trying to help her, you are able to help her clean up most of her shop, and as that goes on, she does, at a time. You guys are nice folks.
I've never seen a bear sweep a floor before. Nick smirks at the Lindra.
It's very Winnie the Pooh coded, like sweeping with in her bear form. You folks you've done me a kindness twice over now. The least I could do is try and get you a good night's sleep. And when you leave here, you should leave. Just don't come back. It's dangerous for outsiders here. I mean it. These people are bad news. And they know what they're doing. There haven't been many good folks come through here, but I've seen them come through. I've seen them gone. I don't want to see that with you. How do you all answer this plea of hers? Not to go, not to do this on her behalf, especially. And he says, I'm so
Is there
happy.
any places we can find these Red Claw goons?
And you see, Renarius, you're definitely going to have to make a persuasion check on that one. And the DC is somewhat high. So make a persuasion check to see if you can get her to tell you, because she does not want you going after these Red Claw goons. Well,
We may just be a group of ladies, but we can handle our own. Don't underestimate us.
seeing you back up Ayla, who maybe even glows a bit with that Order of the Jackalope pride, you see a slight smile creep across Breviera's face. All right. I'll dare to dream once again. You better come back. Word is, if you have an exchange to make, you head up to Grimroot Tower. It's an old tower. An old elven wizard used to live there. He's not there anymore. Family says he used to keep to himself a lot. I've actually seen him snoop around that stump in my younger years. That was before he I think he died. We think he died. He's not been around. The tower's in disrepair. It's half collapsed. But that's supposed to be the meeting place. It's supposed to be where they take them. They take the people that they capture. That's where they don't come back from. So mind yourself. At the very least, damn it, get on that table and get some rest. She motions back to that back room again.
Are there any more people in Darkwell who may wish to see the Red Claw toppled?
If there are, good luck finding them.
We will
Because
be
if they're
back and
around-
maybe can help you get things sorted out.
If they're around and if they're loud enough, they won't be around for long. didn't even go against them. I was just trying to help people. This is what they did. Those fuckers. Let me put you to sleep. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye out.
We need a safe place to attempt to rest, though.
It's as safe as it gets. They've come here once already and run it down. They're not going to be back for a while. If they are, I can manage it. Get in that back room and lay down. You see the owlbear sort of recognizing her dominant command beginning to lumber back.
Let's rest up, sisters, so we can bring the fight to these goons.
Okay. You all move towards that back room, the small cot not offering nearly enough space, as most of you are perfectly fine to sleep on the floor, rolling out your bedrolls. We'll say the owlbear actually climbs up onto the cot. Maybe they like to be perched up a little bit higher as a swooping predator. As all of you tuck in, you see Breviera ascend up above you and begin swirling around. As she does, the candlelight in the room snuffs out. Glitter begins to shine down over you like stars coming down to meet you from the sky. Stars that you haven't seen since moving into this forest. It is a welcome sight indeed. And among the stones, the sound of the river pouring over that glass bowl, the glass bottles ahead clinking together like the sounds of starlight. You all will have advantage on your saving throw to get the benefits of a long rest here. Or rather, not to get exhaustion. So, just as we ended last session, we're going to go down the line. Let me double check here, because I think it was a charisma saving throw, but I want to be sure. Yes. Ayla, roll a charisma saving throw with advantage. So exclamation point R, CHA, save, ADV. You guys certainly did try to construct chaos. Okay. Oh, you didn't roll yet. That's still that 21 from earlier. Saft, go ahead and roll for me. Exclamation point R, CHA, save, ADV. Nyx and Thalindra, you'll be rolling the same thing. So be ready to roll as well. Saft, you still there, friend? Go ahead and roll that check for us if you can. If not, we can skip over to Nyx. You can roll first. Go ahead, Russell. I want to see if you guys are able to sleep, if you're going to end up with even more exhaustion. Okay. With a 14, technically drop down to 12, because this is a vicious cycle. Nyx, thankfully, you are able to get a long rest here. You enter a deep trance, feeling as though you never came back to this wretched place. You are cleansed of your exhaustion. Thalindra, you can roll as well. Hey, with a 15, technically brought down to 13, Thalindra, you as well are able to sleep peacefully. You are thankful for this respite amongst the dark. Ayla, Saft, if you're still there, I will have you roll !RCHA save ADV. If you're not there, I'm going to cycle you out. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Sorry, Saft, you were taking too long, buddy. Renarius, if you wouldn't mind, if you would be so kind, make a charisma saving throw with advantage. !RCHA save ADV. Okay. With a 6 and a 1 on the die, Ayla, somehow this 11 is just barely enough to get you into that deep REM sleep, or rather trance. As you sit there and imagine, try to suspend your disbelief. Bottles clinking overhead, the starlight shimmering down, the water pouring like a gentle stream. You find it hard to let go of the sound of fetid water, the squelch of mud, the taste of that disgusting ichor all around you, the looks on people's faces, and the fact that if these people are the Red Claw, and the Red Claw is comprised of the remnants of Thrallin's men, your mind dwells on your eldest brother. The one you remember fought on Thrallin's side in the war, the one you remember your father asked you to bring home if he is still alive. And you imagine, you feel in your heart, deep down, you know that he is. And that feeling is bittersweet. It cuts both ways. And that is where we are going to end our session for tonight. Thank you, everyone, so much for participating in our 4th episode of Chat Plays D&D, a Decay in Darkwell. We're going to continue our weekly pace and run this next Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you're just joining us, or you got to pilot these characters yourself and you want even more, join us then. And we'll see you there. But do also join us on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time when we resume our next episode of The Wicked Worm, a arc that transpires over the course of a very long-running campaign. We are nearing the end of. It is reaching its epic conclusion. You're not going to want to miss it, especially because it's going to be our last Wednesday stream for a little while. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but several of the Wednesdays this month line up with holidays, namely Christmas Eve and New Year's, so we won't be streaming on those days, and we will have to miss another Wednesday as well due to some personal off-screen things. Saf, no worries missing the opportunity, man. Glad to have you all here. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Do be sure to like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future streams. But until next time, go out there and make some chaos. Bye!